Hello and welcome to the stream. So tonight it is basically the night after a Nintendo Direct. I guess a controversial one. We'll talk about that, hopefully. I know I'll probably bring it up. There's like a really good point that I want to bring up. Because it's just boggling my mind with like how people are thinking these days. Well, hopefully everybody's doing alright. We'll get into the game soon here. But we'll see. Ooh, excuse me. We'll see who comes by. I was pretty much waiting for my brother to get in here. I was like, the game's booted up and all that, so I really like this song. That's why I like playing Analan, is it's like a few songs that are actually really good in it. But yeah, we're gonna be playing 200cc tonight. Hopefully y'all will join in. I'm having Discord saying that I'm muted. I know I'm muted. But let's unmute. Hello. You alright there, PB?
What?
You alright there? Yeah. I was just waiting for...
I'm doing alright. Nothing really spectacular one way or the other.
Cool. Is anyone else in here? Because I can't really see the...
We're the only two in the voice chat as of right now.
Okay. Kize has entered the chat.
I did. Oh.
I'll say it now. Kize has entered the chat.
You guys entered the game lobby?
Not yet. We're about to.
Wild Surge and DL have appeared.
Let's change these,
Alien boy.
let's change these wheels.
Eh? What was that?
Should all do a round as the Samus Me costume since
Everybody-
4 was in the direct today.
All my friends made it. They know they don't hate it.
Session
But they're so
before,
big.
man.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I can move this over, can I?
Hello.
But this is way too fucking far over.
Whoa, AB language.
It's played by a dude.
He said the F word? I didn't even know that. What was I gonna say again now?
Dang it.
Yeah, oh yeah, we were close to not almost having a 200cc race.
Surge knows what he's doing.
Sure, even though I said yesterday about 200cc's, but no one listens to DL.
Gotta get that organic antifreeze.
Yes, because you must mention it every lap and every time we go here. Even though it's for the last time we went.
Is a real thing.
Yes, and I think I heard that before, but not as often as organic antifreeze.
Can I survive this?
Unless it was made in a lab, it's organic.
So organic things are made in the lab. Duly noted.
No!
That was from me. Hello, bye-bye.
Get him.
The DK cannon.
Get him. Get him.
Take that. Dang it.
Nice. That shell went so fast, I think it was 400 cc's. Oh, snowbanks, if you can call them that.
There'll be a new mode in Mario Kart 10.
Why are we talking about the future so much? Let's talk about the present.
The future is now.
Future is now. Frick! Jeez, you fall a long way before
Oh, I thought that blue icon was a blue shell, but that's just my blue Yoshi head.
What?
Yes.
Your head's darker than the blue shell, I believe.
It is? Whoa! Who
think
keeps
so.
throwing these 400cc green shells? Stop it. It's scary.
Speaking of that quote that Kize said, like apparently they're making a, I guess like a revival of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I was wondering if someone was going to bring that up. But isn't there some bad news associated with that?
Yeah,
They're making a sequel.
hold on. That
Yes.
Dewey's actor isn't coming back.
Yeah. I kind of suspected that because I don't think I've seen that guy acted in anything in a while.
Like, I saw on like Facebook like 3 times.
Let's see. Wait,
Watched
didn't
a
Blue
couple
Lake show up
episodes of
last
that
time?
show. I never thought it was all that great. It wasn't bad.
What?
Malcolm in the
I
Middle.
did not hear that, sir. But then again, that's like saying me, I didn't see anything in Seinfeld, and probably someone would say the same thing.
You're talking about Malcolm in the
I
Middle.
thought Seinfeld was better early when Jerry actually had the comedic routines during the show instead of it being like a complete sitcom through the entire show.
I mean, like when it started. Well, I mean, like
Yeah,
when the
that's what I said.
episode starts.
No, he'd have like, well, it might have been when the episode started, but like he would have like his stand-up routines for like, I don't know, like a 5-minute segment during the show or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
that was like the.
I don't remember when they quit doing it, but then it's like the whole show, nothing but the sitcom side.
Yeah, like
I mean,
that.
I like Seinfeld, but I never got addicted to watching it.
I know that. It's like they did that during the first season, and then they pretty much moved like those segments to the beginning of episodes, and then they stopped doing those.
I was more of a
Like they made
Friends.
it different to me.
I was more of a Friends guy, so
You'll be there for that?
yeah, it's just like I'll be there for you guys.
I wanted to see 7 strangers in an apartment. I'd watch The Real World on MTV.
Jesus Christ.
Oh dear.
Real world road rules challenge.
Which it's not very real.
But there's a lot of shows that seem to copy that now on some sort of other reality show, because that reality show has a bunch of people either living together or competing for something.
I mean, it birthed the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz.
Gosh, and relates it back to that again.
That is.
He's The Miz.
Star!
How about that Big Bang Theory, though?
I
Crickets.
watched sparingly of that show. How do we get into show talk again?
Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah, because your brother mentioned it and then you started. Yeah, you started this. Now stop it.
Well, he
We can talk about the Nintendo
he quoted
Direct
it,
if you
and then-
really want to.
Yeah, let's do
I
that.
also kind of don't want to do that, but I'll talk about it if people want to talk about it. Geesh.
Sure.
as the current
Much like-
WWE Universal, no, as the current WWE champion says, "What do you want to talk about?" I butchered that, but
Yep.
what do you want to talk about?
You butchered
like-
60% of the things you say.
I'd like seeing more of Metroid Prime 4. Woo, yeah.
Why did it have to be?
Like 50% of the time?
That's not how math works, but yeah. Why did it had to be 10 minutes into the direct? That was kind of weird.
I
They
mean,
timed it.
Maybe.
Because because like they could have started with it, or they could have ended with it. From what they showed, I'm not saying it wasn't hype, no matter where they would have shown it, but it's just looking at the direction of the direct, and at least from my aesthetic tastes, it was really telling why, why they put that in the middle. But
Malcolm in the middle.
I like what
in the
was
middle.
shown.
Metroid in the middle.
Baby in the middle.
Yes, no, maybe. I
Middle.
don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Story of my life.
Let's go, baby part.
I'd be really interested in that Dragon Warrior game if I had time to play those games again.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah.
I want to play it. I
Oh,
just
you
can't
mean
find the
Dragon
time.
Quest? You still call it Dragon Warriors? Jeez.
Still Dragon
You
Warrior
should-
to me, damn.
Okay, but you calling it that makes you sound like an older man than you are. You know that, right? I was like, what the heck is Dragon Warriors? I was like,
Hell, I was playing it as a. It was Dragon Warrior. That's all we had, damn it.
It's still real to him,
man.
Yep. So, if I recall,
The power for
yeah.
the guy. Still had the Nuts card in the protector sleeve.
It's kind of like when they called, what was it? The first, like, mana game, like Final Fantasy Adventure or something like that.
Oh yeah. Because I said, what game did they call Final Fantasy Adventure? And you just took it as like, oh
Yep.
yeah, it's from then. Square Enix, they sure know how to title stuff from way back in the day till kind of now.
so that was somewhat accurate to the Japanese title.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had that Gradius collection, which seemed kind of random considering everything else they got into.
I'm trying to.
They did put it. They put it in a segment where they were gonna say action, adventure, and arcade games. So it wasn't really all that random. But you're not wrong that out of all the things they showed up, that was the only arcade game
Shop
throughout the
collection,
direct.
out of all the other games that they showed, come on, that's random.
You're
The
random.
series that all their teased the Salamander 3, they hadn't done games for that series in forever and a day. Maybe forever and 2
Yeah.
days.
My favorite game out of all of those is Life Force. I love Life Force.
And like even counting like spin-offs, like I think the latest one was called Atome DS Excellence, but that came on the 360.
I never heard of that game.
It's basically waifu edition of Gradius.
So we're kind of talking indirectly about Direct. Keep this up.
We're talking about stuff from the direct, though.
Yeah, but I don't want you to talk about the things that weren't to my aesthetic tastes. So keep talking indirectly about the Direct,
You talk
please.
about that lame app that seems to have no real purpose.
Oh yeah, the news app.
Get
Well,
news.
well, well,
this-
we'll see. Let him cook. Let him cook.
You get news directly to you.
Oh, I get to go somewhere else to get new news.
It's called following Nintendo on Twitter. It's the same thing.
But are you gonna get news with
here's the-
content?
So here's the thing about that. Nintendo, ever since they've been doing directs, because in this direct they mentioned they've been doing this since 2011, and people didn't know that's 14 years now. That
Whoa,
they want
math.
to control the narrative at every single turn. This is just another way of doing that.
And just in case, I just posted a list of games mentioned. Oh yeah, Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, I had no idea what that game was supposed to be until they started getting. I'm like, okay, this has to be a new Rhythm Heaven game because I was so confused.
Yeah, it took
I knew
me
it.
a while too, but I was like, is this Rhythm Heaven? It's like, yeah, it is.
I knew what it was
Before I
immediately.
started.
I actually recognized the confirmation between each
Like the whole
Seemed like
thing.
each speech.
yeah.
I was wondering what the heck was that all about. I was like, clearly I haven't played the game, so me not to recognize that.
I played it last year, so.
So
God dang it.
when someone blessed that Zeus, I just hit my star. I would have been so mad I lost my star because someone hit Zeus. So thank you.
Dang it!
Yep.
I got my draft and it's bumped into Surge.
Okay, so can we talk about another game that hasn't seen a lot of days similar to Rhythm Heaven?
Tamagotchi.
Oh, really?
Tamagotchi.
Oh my gosh.
Tomodachi.
Say the full name. Say it. Say the full name.
Say
That's
the
not
line,
it.
Bart.
Wait.
What I said? Or
Tamagotchi
Tamagotchi
life.
Living the
Come
dream.
on, people.
Yeah.
the dream.
How's it going? You know, living the
Jeez.
dream.
We're living the dream.
How do you forget a title like that? I'm not even the biggest Tamagotchi fan, and I'm telling you guys to say it right. Oh, my
I don't know.
hometown.
I did like how at the end the one woman like ran up on the other woman and she was like huge. I'm like, this is like Attack on Titan or something.
Wow, I don't know how your head went to that, but okay.
Because like literally that happens anyway.
Well, the fart on the beach there was kind of good start too.
There was a fart?
Oh yeah, at the start.
Hmm.
There was a fart at the start.
Of course, PB would recognize it.
I only recognized it because they went over it in somebody's video about it earlier today.
Hmm. Honestly, even though they started off you seeing a scene on the beach and then you saw someone lying on a beach chair, I thought that was like a new Animal Crossing game. I was like, oh
That's
no,
what I
this is
thought
not
too.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do
What is
Animal
going
Crossing
on?
next week. Come on.
It's been 5 years. I think it's enough time.
You only get one Animal Crossing.
I put 2 Animal Crossings on the Switch.
Maybe it's spin-off.
True, there wasn't 2 Animal Crosses on the 3DS, and there's never been 2 Animal Crosses on one system. But man,
I mean,
Main
then you
games.
have like
And I don't care because I wouldn't buy it either way. But
what system was Happy Home Designer on?
3DS.
3DS.
yes.
Yes.
I guess you can call it another Animal Crossing game. It's just kind of like, yeah, spin-off expansion, more of like an
no
expansion.
Amiibo Festival.
Oh.
Oh God.
We don't speak about that here. Even though last week's Smash fighting game we were doing, I don't know why I'm losing
Okay.
words out of my head now. I kind of was naming something to that, the Amiibo Festival.
What's the deal with Sony releasing on the Switch?
I have no idea, but I think it's indicative that a lot of people see the potential of what Nintendo Switch 2 is. I want to get on that bandwagon.
Since we got Patapon, I hope we get like Loco Roco and Loco Roco 2 next.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me too, because you had that one studio that was making a Patapon successor called Ratatan or Inspired Game.
Yeah, they're screwed now.
I was like, oh, that's
Come to
rough.
everything but Xbox.
Nothing goes to Xbox.
Well, Xbox is about to go to everything, so I mean,
Yeah. So it's
It's all the way around. No, you're not gonna get me, Reddy. This is an Xbox.
Series
Yeah,
Switch and Xbox Series PlayStation.
that would be true.
No!
If you went back 20 years, like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, man, you got laughed at.
You would have believed it. You're more or less still an adult.
Would never believe it. But dang it, how did it turn around?
Like, if you said this to yourself 30 or so years ago, you wouldn't believe it. But then again, Xbox never existed 30 years ago, so.
I mean, never expected Sonic to be on Nintendo system, and then Sonic
I
Adventure
guess it
pops
was
up on the
early
GameCube.
2000s for Xbox.
Yeah, because Xbox became a thing the same year when the GameCube was, so. It hasn't been 30 years. Yeah, you heard what I said.
Actually, I kind of did.
Xbox did. I was saying
Yeah,
that.
he basically
Xbox
said they came out
the
the same
time.
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, GameCube and Xbox. So Xbox is not 30 years old yet, so it's not old. Or that old, even though Xbox 360 is turning 20 this year.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, are you calling me old?
I'm calling all of us old. I've been calling a lot of people old. You notice that?
That's crazy. Xbox 360 is almost 20 years old. That's
Spectre
nuts.
Elders.
You know.
I never own an Xbox system, and I probably never will.
We only owned this 360.
Yeah, we only have 360.
Either.
Yeah, I had an Xbox.
I was close to getting a 360, but didn't get one.
Yeah. I'm still using the One X here.
PlayStation 2 for less than a year. Sold it to get some, traded it for getting my computer fixed.
Oh, almost crashed. Oh,
Only
I
bought
can't
one
drive.
PlayStation 1 game for it.
Remember
I
the
still have a
red
mushroom?
ring?
What the heck?
DL got that Soldier Boy console.
Oh
I got
God.
500 games.
Plus 300 original.
Boomerang.
Box you get from AliExpress.
Boomerang. Haha, nice one. Give me mushrooms.
For the longest time, I
There's no
thought
boomerang.
AliExpress. For the longest time, I thought AliExpress was like a North Florida thing, but apparently it's all over.
All over the world, yeah.
All over the
I wonder what
world.
made you think of that.
I mean, I'd never
Yeah.
seen it like anywhere else or heard of it from anywhere else.
Eh,
Ah.
God dang it.
Whoa!
I should have expected that.
Okay, so what about Temu then?
Huh?
Oh, that's it.
What about Temu?
Tim, I mean, I
It
know
doesn't
Tim.
count because it's only the intro offers that are cheap.
Even if it's like a scam, you shouldn't like go there. Who knows what kind of data it's collecting on you?
Hmm.
The
You
app,
can't shoot fire at me when
like,
I'm
permission.
invincible.
You need like permission for your microphone.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Come on!
You need permission from your microwave. What?
Microphone. Why do you need my microphone for? You're a shopping app.
I know.
I'm just collecting all kinds of stuff.
You need the.
I literally should have had that crazy, but the one red shell that I threw just completely bypassed you.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Oh, what's the name of that the witch game that seems like a Harry Potter light?
Which book?
Yeah, Witchbrook.
Yeah, Witchbrook.
Yeah, that was Kristen's highlight. She's been following that
I was
game
gonna-
since.
I
Yeah,
was
it
gonna
looks
say,
really
I thought
good.
that looked cute.
It does look pretty good. Like
Of course.
I kind of want to play it.
I can see Kristen with her. I didn't even know her all that well. I was like, yeah, I know she'd be into that.
She's,
You better
she's a
buy
huge
that
Harry
game for
Potter
her.
fan.
Yeah, buy that
I
game
mean-
for her.
I mean, I probably will. The sprite work looks awesome on it. I like it.
Of course, Chuckle
Cart deal. Sure.
Chucklefish doesn't miss, man.
And you do good pixel art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of good pixel art, what about
That
that
Marvel
Marvel Cosmo Invasion game?
I'm
It just
interested
sucks
in
that's
that.
coming out at the end of the year.
Looks
I
good.
want it now.
I want my Marvel and I
Yep.
want it now.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's like the old X-Men
Oh.
arcade game.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
especially seeing that Wolverine. I was like, come on.
Oh, who is? And I
It's too enhanced version.
so I'm not super comic savvy. Who is that Captain Marvel looking person that had like the hand sword? I have no idea who that is. Everybody else like a big.
Oh, Taskmaster?
Well, they were fighting Taskmaster. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mm,
You watch a trailer
Yeah.
again. It's one of the characters you can play as. Like the woman looks like Captain Marvel, but she's got like a beam sword hand thing.
This one.
Miss Marvel. There's a lot of interpretations of Mrs. Marvel and all that kind of stuff. There's like 5 different versions and people and aliens and other things and stuff. Sheesh. And there's a man version too.
There's a man version.
Well, not Miss.
A man
Oh,
version
I
of
guess
Miss
it worked.
Marvel.
The fact they got Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, it's like, come on, can't y'all be a little more?
Dang it, I hit my own shell. What? God damn it.
Oh, she's a William.
Search up all your
Use the
names.
William.
Red shell was too slow and I hit it.
But even though I said we're talking directly about the records, keep that up. Have you noticed any of the games, even if they weren't Nintendo ones, because there wasn't a lot of Nintendo ones? Because honestly, I think this could have been a partner showcase the way that this was kind
Ooh,
of going.
Surge.
Most of the third-party games, some of them, or not some of them, maybe some of them, but I would say most of them were releasing in July and June. Have you noticed that, all the release dates?
Oh,
Yeah.
they.
I didn't do it.
Which two, bro?
Summer's kind of a lull period for games. So,
Yeah, because even when you look at the Nintendo Day app, which I just got not a couple of hours ago, I got an hour and a half ago, you don't see anything beyond June or anything like that. Because they only focus on Nintendo stuff. Not to say that in the future, if they will do any third party, I kind of doubt it. I'm not holding my breath on that. But like, all the third party games that they're showing, if they didn't have a release dates, which all the Nintendo games in this direct didn't have a release date, they just had a year. And not to say that could be telling for anything else that's going to be showing next week, but I'm not going to get into that because PB has. No, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna leave that to you because you're definitely wearing the tinfoil hat in this chat right now. I'm not getting into that, but I'm just saying that like a lot of third party
Your
games are
feelings,
just
you know it to be true.
every time I say that I know it. Yeah, I was gonna say I may not know what that means, but you said it enough that I can infer what that means, and I still ignore it because no, every time my feelings are not with you. But yeah, a lot of third-party games are just
The week of
releasing
the
in June and
fourth,
July. The force is with me in other things and other ways, but yeah, a lot of third-party games releasing in
not
June and
always,
July.
Leo.
Yeah, whatever. What was I gonna say again? I think there was a couple. No, I think there was one third-party game outside of the shadow. There was two shadow drops. One third-party games releasing in April, but majority is like June and July. Hey,
That
so
sh-
just off the course.
Did that Shadow Labyrinth game have a date? I don't remember.
I think
I, August? I don't remember. Crap.
July, I
There's
think.
games coming in August. There's a game coming out in August. I'm trying to remember. It's a game
Nice.
I really like.
Hey, just because I don't own other systems, is that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 already out on the other system?
No.
No,
Not
it didn't
yet.
have a release date. If you paid attention, it said 2025.
Dang.
That was for Switch. I'm saying, is it already out for Xbox or?
No. The game doesn't come with
It still doesn't
exclusive.
have a date period, regardless of.
Yeah. Yeah, it isn't like a timed exclusive where it comes out on Switch first. It wasn't like that for the third one either, so. Trying to remember because I think the game that's coming out in August is releasing August the 7th. I just don't remember the name of the game. Crap. That's 3 days before my birthday, but I don't remember the name of it.
Eh.
I forget what game that was. That was coming out.
That was the last lap? Crap.
Yep.
Was it a third party game that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. Was it that game where that old man jumps on that cane?
Oh, you mean not
Is it that?
DuckTales?
Yeah, whatever. I keep forgetting. I just keep calling it,
It
the
was-
old man with the cane.
Old man
it's-
tales.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
kind of
think
what you're talking about.
I think that one's coming out in. No, actually, no. I remember into the saying it comes out later this year. Yeah, that's not an August 7th.
Gradius Origins comes out the 7th.
Ah, that's the game. Wow, it's funny. Even though I like all the games in that collection, so yeah, that's accurate still. Even though there wasn't a lot of games, like I said, in this direct that aesthetically please me. Like I'm happy for those with Tomodachi Life and Riven Heaven, Groove and all that kind of stuff. Even though
If they ever get a physical release this time
like
in the US.
we all have to admit, no matter who's a big fan of those games, those are niche games. So,
Gramp
but
tables.
that doesn't take away from
Gramp
how
tables.
anyone else feels about that. But all the other games just didn't appeal to me. That was just a meh direct for
I
me.
mean, I can see you saying like Rhythm Heaven somewhat niche. I'm pretty sure that series has still sold relatively well, but Tomodachi Life is like a almost guaranteed million seller at least in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it's
It sells
done
really
some.
well in Japan.
And it's,
Yeah.
and especially even though it was shocking to see that the game is going to release in 2026 and it showed up in a Nintendo Switch Direct and not anywhere else, even though yes, you can play Nintendo Switch games on Nintendo Switch 2, it's going to sell the most on the current gen that we're in right now. So it just makes sense. So you're right about the millions for sure.
The millions and millions.
So not to say I was far off by saying it's niche, but yeah, compared to like other Nintendo IPs, yeah, sure.
I mean, it's no Breath of the Wild, but it's also like not terrible.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else.
It's like
Dang.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
are
yeah.
there? Oh well, yeah. There's still a few left. I was thinking, it's like, are there still like any like
Oh.
games still on the Wii U that they have to port to Switch?
Yoshi's
No,
Woolly World.
hold on.
Wow, you bring that up so
yeah.
many times. They port that to the 3DS. Do you want the Wii U version or the 3DS version?
Oh dear.
Graphics of the Wii U version with the
Oh no.
Yoshi created
Dang it.
from the 3DS worked just fine.
Okie
The
dokie,
best of
you got
the
it.
best of both worlds.
I'll talk to Nintendo and get that done.
Dang it, Piranha Plant.
Oh, you got it like that, Neo?
I live in Canada. Most of it's gonna happen.
Nintendo, don't you know?
Oh my
All of
God.
our uncles work at Nintendo.
Yeah, it's funny. The Nintendo Today app, as I told you, it doesn't show anything past June. You know, it shows the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm still on the wait list to see if I'm going under. I checked my emails to see if I missed anything. If I'm off the wait list, and I'm still not. So, oh well, I was gonna get the console, but meh.
Might say something if you're still on the wait list.
You can put those
already went there.
you can put those links in the Mario Kart chat instead of the Ninfora one.
Oh wait, was I posting a Ninfora one? Oh my god.
That thing. What do you mean? Where did you post them?
Oh shit.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes
Okay,
it's
well, there you go.
hard.
Just in case. Yeah, I heard about this. About like why Rhythm Heaven is hasn't been coming out for a long time or something.
Yep.
I think that's because like Sunku, he can't like sing anymore. He had like a vocal cord surgery or something.
Yeah. So people who are just in the know knew. Okay.
I think that's what happened.
So okay, if that's the case, how long do you think this game was being worked on then?
1
I
year.
guess when did the composer get better, or you know?
Yeah.
True, obviously, but I'm just saying that when he got better, and obviously he was like, okay, right away I made a deal that once I get better that I start making a new game. I'm just gonna kiss, because I'm not saying a game like that doesn't take a while to make. Games, regardless of its scope, still take a while, so I'm just gonna curious when it started.
Especially if you can't talk.
Yeah.
That moves everything around.
Oh god.
The cream. Well, it kind of reminds me too, like, so just, you know, some random trivia here. So for Final Fantasy XIV, that composer, Soken, he was also diagnosed with cancer, so he wasn't able to compose for a while. But then I think one of the final themes for like their last big expansion or the expansion before that, he composed that as he was starting to feel better. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman.
God dang it.
Wait, what?
You know, he hid that he had cancer and still did all that acting.
Well, I don't think the composer actually hid it. I mean, they weren't really talking a whole lot about it, but yeah.
No, well, I wasn't talking about I was talking about the fact of hiding. I'm just saying that to still work through such a difficult time. I mean, they both work through difficult. Yeah, they both work through difficult time. It's just Chadwick, you know, not to say he intentionally hid it. Everyone has their reasons, but I'm just saying that for anyone in that state, and I obviously don't wish it on anyone, or no matter how much I may not like someone or something like that, because I know it's gonna weird just bringing it up like that. But I'm just saying that to work through something like that, wow, kudos, man, kudos.
Yeah, but just look at Iwata. He was working on like Pokemon Go, like he was like in the hospital and stuff.
But okay, this is a man who squeezed 2 regions into 1 card. Do you think this is a man who's gonna sit on his laurels?
I mean, he kind of did a lot more than that, but you know.
What about his Xannies?
yeah, I know. I'm just saying that this guy's not gonna sit down, and this is a guy who took a pay cut to himself. Like this man was too good for this world. He honestly just was.
This world did not deserve Iwata.
The guy you had good CEOs, he died, like Steve Jobs and Iwata. I take care about the company.
Oh no, 3-toed harbors.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Makes you wonder what Apple would be like if Steve Jobs was still alive.
Interesting thought.
I kind of wanted to bring something up with basically the whole virtual game card thing. So
yes, please speak about that.
Yeah, so I think it was like either like a few days ago. It's like this is based on like somebody from GameFAQs like basically fear mongering stuff for like the Switch 2 or whatever. It's like mainly, it's like he was the only one that I saw say that it's like it's not confirmed that the Switch 2 will have cards. He thinks that it's going to be digital only. And
That's cool, right?
basically, like the whole thing with like the virtual game cards or whatever.
Mhm. Confirms
It's
what
like
he was saying.
it basically is fear mongering like other people to think that the Switch 2 is going to be a digital only platform, and it's like that doesn't make sense because all the haters, it was like the haters and like fans or whatnot or whatever, they complain about Nintendo's online infrastructure, like whether it's just for online or like their digital shops and whatnot. It's like, why do they think that Nintendo would go digital only for the Switch 2?
They made it
I
last
think
one
put enough
go
memory
digital
on a
only.
portable tablet to do it that big digital. Oh, opinion.
But it's like even considering that, it's like it still doesn't make sense because you have people complaining. Well, they complain about everything, but you have people that you basically have people that they will complain about the price of the Switch 2, like no matter what, because oh, it's too weak to be like at this high price. They don't think that it's going to be a higher, even higher price that they're going to complain about because they add more memory to it. Well, more storage capacity to it.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're not going to complain that it's like $100 or $150 more
than
it initially would have been?
Mm-hmm. They're just self-hating people. No matter what, they're always gonna prophesize the worst scenario, and you can't get out of it, especially if you're around people who think the same way. And obviously that's just called an echo chamber. You don't want to be around people who just kind of do that. It is what it is.
It's basically been like all
It's kinda
these
like,
directs.
Where is that? Are they gonna really go LCD or OLED for the screen?
Yummy
Or
Yahoo.
not.
And will they do
Kind of been
like
over this
512 gig for onboard storage or not?
because like OLED is a luxury thing. No matter, OLED is always going to be for a topic for discussion because it draws a lot of things from a portable system, battery life and cost and all that kind of stuff. And if they can do without it, they'll find other ways to make sure LCD
The
and
OLED that's currently out right now doesn't do any more battery usage than the LCD did.
Yeah, I thought OLED was like more battery efficient.
I mean, it has a different
Well,
battery.
You put an OLED in a Switch already. Why are you scrapping it on your next generation when you upgraded the screen yourself on your older one? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I totally
OLED,
get
like, it
that.
turns off the pixel. Like when you have black, it just turns off the pixels to save the battery.
I mean, granted, it could have a much nicer LCD than the original Switch had.
Yeah, because there's been advancements in technology.
True. But you,
1 to 200 years now.
what you have to remember about Nintendo and technology and advancement, and I think we all know this, they always try to use tech that's affordable, that people, that consumers can actually buy.
Older tech especially.
Yeah, so as much as they're always looking ahead, they're always trying to think of the consumer's pockets, because the current president said that, we're going to try to price the Switch to where, consumers expect. So
We're gonna
I
be
think,
selling
like I
the
said,
$70 games, don't you worry.
Well, no, I hope
I just hope it's not come to that, but it most likely probably will. That's probably more likely than whatever people are thinking about performance
Maybe
enhancements
by the time
for
you get
Switch
the
2.
DLC and the passes.
Please stop talking.
I feel like it's
But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think OLED is going to be a thing for the Switch
I feel like
2
it's
at
way
launch.
cheaper to
God.
I mean, the
make
Switch 2
OLED.
Pro.
I'm in DL left. Yep.
Well, 88. I guess you have to consider that since the Switch 2 is going to be more powerful. Hi Max, how you doing? It's going to like take more out of the battery. even though like
Yeah.
it's like if it's the same battery, it's gonna take more out of it. So it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're gonna put an OLED on there. It's gonna take more from the battery. The system's more powerful. That's gonna take more of the battery. So it's gonna have less battery
And the screen is
life.
screen is bigger too.
It's gonna have less battery life overall.
Yeah.
Unless they put
So,
a bigger battery in it.
See, that's such an easy solution to solve that, but the battery doesn't come down to the cost. I think it just comes down to the size. Because how big is the system going to be because of the battery? And also, they don't want the system to be too yieldly big, because with the bigger screen, the system is already slightly bigger, as we can see from the reveal trailer and the Joy-Cons as well. So they have to, accommodate that, because it would have been weird. The system's bigger, but the Joy-Cons are still the same size. I don't know how that would have
I
worked.
wonder if they made it bigger so you
The random
put
didn't
a
matter.
battery in it. That's the reason why it's bigger.
But yes, that was an interesting topic you brought up with the virtual game cards. I thought you were going to bring up something else, but I thought this is, more appropriate to bring this up with everyone else here, since
Black Spaceman.
me and the bros here are family members on for Nintendo Online here. So I looked into what they were talking about, lending games as a family member. That can only work if our Nintendo Switch systems are locally near each other, not that they're far away. Too bad you can't share there. Maybe they're trying to prevent people, even though you're family members and they don't live in the same house or area or whatever like that, you can't lend games out that way. Because if that was the case, Kaze and Crazy can, borrow a lot of the digital games I own. So I wouldn't have minded if those guys took advantage of the many digital titles I have that they don't have, and vice versa. If there's any titles that I don't have and I can lend their games, even though you can only do one at a time for 14 days, that's okay. But I just wish they increased the capacity outside of just local wireless, and you can do it online as well. Because if you're a family member, you have to know the person to say who's a part of the groups. Does it really matter that they're not in the same vicinity and that you can share it just generally online? Even though they said to do that, you need to be online and
Yeah, we're
local
discussing
wireless.
that now, Max.
Yeah,
They
so
don't want you doing that with people online.
I figure that's the case.
I mean,
We'll
I
see
can
if
understand
they change
why.
their mind about it. Me too. I can understand, but I think they may change on it. It may be wishful thinking for me to think that they will, but I don't know. I think they might. I don't know. It feels like it's a small possibility. Otherwise than that, I think it's a cool thing, even though I get where a lot of people are coming from, whether or not it's people who already own Nintendo Switch or just never owned a Nintendo console, that the way they're going about this seems kind of convoluted. It kind of is, to a certain extent, outside of what I just explained for the whole family membership and lending, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's quite convenient if you own two Nintendo Switch systems like I do, for example. And I don't mind, like, when we were playing Smash last week and I was playing Xenoblade, if I had the digital version, I can just swap it over to my Lite from my OLED here and just do it that way. But I have the physical of that game. But, any digital games, which I have a lot more digital games than physical games, I just play it on my Lite and vice versa. Instead of just saying, oh, cloud this and save this, I was like, yeah, just, boot it over.
I wonder why it wasn't like this way in the beginning.
You know what? I think it's all a part that when they were making the Nintendo account systems for Switch, and then when they knew they were making a successor, and then they made that little graph saying that all your Nintendo account stuff will go into the future, and then they confirmed it last year that all your digital purchases, I think it's around that time they were thinking, I think we should implement a system where it's easy to just play digital games from one system to another in the future. So yeah, this is one of those things that Nintendo didn't thought through, but at least it's coming to fruition now. Better late than never.
Yeah, I guess.
It's an interesting thing with the virtual game cards. Man, I'm so looking forward for you guys to take advantage of my digital games. Man, too bad.
Yeah.
I knew that would probably be like a complaint. But it's like not a lot of people are complaining about that. They're just complaining about the option in general. And with like how like the whole thing with like primary and secondary consoles and stuff like that whole thing with like playing their games on like a different system.
One system to another.
Like
yeah.
like that whole thing, and then
Mhm.
basically, it's like what I didn't know. Like even though it's like it wasn't really brought up,
Hmm.
is that there's a way. There's apparently a way that like somebody you can have two people play the same digitally owned game, like in that way, and like play together, and, like play online together or whatnot.
Hmm.
It's like the whole.
Is
It's
that
like
is that with a certain game, or you can do that with all games?
I think it's this with like
Oh, if you lend the
Di-
game out,
digital
you don't have
version
it
or
on your
whatever.
system until you get it back. So you can't do it that way.
yeah
No,
with
he's not
this
talking
new.
about virtual. Oh, with the.
No,
Oh,
yeah, I'm not
never
ta-
mind.
I'm talking about the primary. The primary, secondary thing.
Okay, yeah, I had to. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I heard
Yeah,
you
it's
say.
like
Yeah.
so basically the whole thing is that it's like the primary, let's say the primary switch, not default. The primary switch has the person that buys the game and
Mhm.
like somebody else.
Mhm.
And the secondary console is the secondary console is owned by the person that bought the digital game on the primary console.
The same account.
Yeah, with the same with the same account, like the same user or whatever. So
Mhm.
like the person that bought it plays on their account on the second Switch, which enables the other user on the primary one to play the game on that Switch. So they're both playing at the same time rather than it locking one of them out.
Yeah, that sounds like a do around. Because not to say that like me owning two consoles, the only thing that I run into trouble is that like sometimes I put my Switch in airplane mode. So if I'm not careful and I switch from my OLED as my primary and my lights as my secondary, it doesn't save any of the progress from one console to the other. That's an annoyance on my part, but not to say that that's something I need to get used to or just stop putting in the airplane mode from going one thing to another, but it's just annoying. But what you're saying, that sounds like, a pretty significant workaround, but yeah.
Yeah,
This virtual game card is a good way around it.
What are you saying, AB?
I think just do what mobile does. You just download this stuff from your account. You need to like your own logged in page.
Oh, Nintendo's slowly getting there.
Yeah, so
I saw
basically
that,
with that, people are fear mongering with that, thinking that the virtual thinking that
secondary thing.
Let me finish.
Oh.
They're fear mongering with they think the virtual game card is going to completely replace the primary secondary thing, preventing people from doing that, and like making people buy their digital games. It's like the whole thing.
I see where that comes from.
Yeah, so basically the whole thing had to do with like fear mongering, like all this new stuff, and like not appreciating anything. Because like everything that's announced, it's like they're looking for the bad in it instead of the good. And it's just irritating to see. Because like, oh, this is a good idea. It's like
so much good, but they're going something bad.
And according to Mix, it says it's already been leaked that the Switch 2 will use cartridges too.
What?
I mean,
That was
leaked?
not
That's
leaked,
a
all the cartridge
stupid
slots
thing to say is a
anyway.
leak.
They showed us the top of the system. Art goes.
I was gonna say, didn't like the little preview video of the actual Switch 2, like...
Yeah, there's like a little flash. You open it.
Yeah, but
So okay,
but
yeah,
but that's for
There's a
that
microphone on the top too.
that's for the Switch 1 games. That port's for the Switch 1 games. We haven't seen a cart of the
It's
Switch
gonna be
2.
the same cartridge slot. It's gonna be the same cartridge slot.
and I will give them that.
Come on.
We haven't seen a card for the Switch 2, but just because we don't see that.
It's like the casing's different or something.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a little knob or the bump here, but just because we haven't seen a Switch 2 card doesn't mean there isn't. Like, why would they show the rendering of the Switch 2 and you can see the little flap for a cartridge? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know where people get in their head that like it's so much that they forget some sort of logic along the way. Because like, I get where they're also coming from. Not to say there was no logic with their other thinking, but oh, Switch 2 is only going to be digital because this whole virtual game card. Like, I could see some nugget of logic in it, but it's like, yeah, that could only take you so far.
It's fear mongering.
Echo,
It's like it's not.
Echo chamber.
It's like it's not. It's like they didn't show us a Switch 2 card, so we don't know if they'll have physical games. But it's like all this stuff that they've been doing for years with the card sizes. It's like, I think the maximum size that they were working on was 64 gigabyte cards.
And
it's like the big
got to that much with expensive.
And it's like, I think the only that was the only game that had a 32 gigabyte one.
Yep.
It's like why would they work on all of that only to go digital only? When like most of the profits are from physical games.
No matter how much examples you bring up, they're still just gonna deny it and wear their tinfoil hats and continue their conspiracies, you know. Can't be helped.
I wouldn't be surprised about a digital-only Switch 2 being a thing at some point.
I don't think that's...
It's like, it'd have to be...
Maybe.
It's gonna end up being like $200 more. Because they basically have to...
Sony.
It's like
Make
they basically have to up the storage size. Because like 64 gigabytes is not going to work for a digital-only system. Even though...
They're gonna have to figure out something on the cards too, because you noticed how many like ladder games, it's like parts on the card, parts digital download.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay for the more expensive cartridge sizes.
Yeah.
I feel like by that time they'd probably be... I think by that time they'd probably lower the prices for the bigger cards and then like go even bigger.
Well, yeah, just like I mentioned before that Nintendo always wants to use technology when it's affordable. Like the cards that were expensive during the Switch era, I would say that those bigger cards are a little bit more expensive now, because if we're gonna get the games of the possible fidelity that we think we're gonna get, those have to be on bigger cards now. So those cards that were expensive during the Switch era, I'm not saying that they're tremendously not expensive as they were before, but they're cheaper, not significantly cheaper. So we'll see what happens there when we cross that bridge when we get there, and however, if they're gonna go digital, because I feel like either one gen from now or 2 gens from now, even though I think Xbox and PlayStation with their next gen system, they're gonna go all digital. It's gonna be a while before Nintendo goes all digital. Even not pending also because you know how they are with technology, but yeah.
But Nintendo won't use SD cards.
Yeah, and also like using better. When I say better storages, I mean like larger storages, but that runs into the same thing that it will eat up the cost, similar to OLED screens, bigger batteries. Even though I think bigger batteries are a bigger concern than an OLED screen or more storage, but.
I still think they're going to be. I think that thing's going to be like around $400.
Yeah.
I definitely hope
maybe
so.
450, but I think 400 is going to be their magic number.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
450 the most, but yeah. So Serge, I know that you talked about before that you think it's going to be 350. You still think it's going to be 350?
Hard to say now.
Like honestly, I'm not disagreeing that 350 would be nice, but it's too nice, you know. But yeah.
Let's get the price drop.
Yeah.
What if they do that? Be like, hey, this is gonna be the price of the Switch 2, and look, as of today, price drop, y'all. You've been waiting for like 8 years.
Get your Switch
Everyone
today.
buys more. Everyone buys more Switches than a Switch 2. It's like, okay. We got to 160 million Switches, but we like people to buy Switch 2, please.
Why not the Switch 2 where we
A lot
got
of those
all
are
the
skipping
bucks?
us.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Okay, to bring up something in the chat. Like Mex asked, what are the odds Nintendo will add some sort of party chat for Switch 2?
I think it's coming. It looked like there was a microphone on top of the Switch.
I think the likelihood is high.
Yeah, I mean, had that patent for in-game on like just like voice.
But you know that app? It's kind of weird. Like, is that gonna be your voice chat app when it gets updated when Switch 2 hits?
Oh, Nintendo has to know that the thing is no one likes it. Like even people from like NOE and NOA know that no one likes it.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the patent.
Are you kidding me?
I opened this earlier, but I want to take a sip of a Diet Dr. Pepper. Sponsor me, please.
Just hope the Switch 2 doesn't go up in price. The tariffs.
Wow.
You have to pay more.
He said not. He said not an app, a built-in party chat,
Yeah.
like PlayStation and
That's probably what they're
Xbox.
doing. Seems like that's what they're doing because they had that one patent for like spatial audio and like in voice chat. It looks like there's a
Even though-
on top of the system in that one video.
Even though that's not a new thing, but I don't think a lot of people, done the whole spatial thing. Yeah. Yeah, so that makes sense that it's not widely used, but Nintendo always likes to think outside the box or certain things that either hasn't been used or sparingly used and then use it in a unique way. Because I think that's how they pretty much develop We Speak.
Yeah. The only thing I think it'll be useful for is maybe like first-person shooters, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nintendo sometimes is kind of one-mindedly situational thinking that something that seems cool only seems cool in that moment and not for like a widespread media thing. The gift that you posted there, because in the Mario Kart Discord chat, you couldn't find a newer gift with Samus in the purple glow?
I could not.
Not with the
Or
time.
Samus in the crimson red fire armor.
Yeah, you got to make your own.
Spoilers!
What do you mean spoilers?
That suit is awesome.
I was like, they showed that suit. I'm like, all right, cool. Then it ends. I'm like, that's not fair.
Yeah, spoilers!
Yeah, that was literally the end of the trailer, though.
I wonder if they're going to show more at the Switch 2 event. Direct.
Yeah.
We'll see
New
if
moveset for
TV's
Samus.
tinfoil conspiracy actually happens.
It'd be stupid to release it on Switch 2.
Look at the latitude on the walls.
At least have like a free update.
Okay,
for it.
because your uncle works for Nintendo TV. Okay, sure.
It's not gonna be
Force the Jedi, it's all true.
They're not gonna have a specific version for it. They'll probably release like do an enhanced version and an update for it.
Yeah, that's most likely what's gonna happen. I feel.
Oh my god.
Having a
Stop
separate
fucking poll.
having a separate SKU or just it showing up in Switch 2 would mean a lot, because like yes, it's very telling that the Nintendo games that are supposed to release this year, Pokemon Legends ZA, oh yeah, we haven't talked about that, and Metroid Prime 4 both still say 2025.
That's why
Not to say is it's telling that something's happening with the Switch 2, but I don't want to leap the logic in that end.
Fucking crazy.
Like, apparently there are rumblings that it's not going to be there at Switch 2 Direct.
Okay, that didn't work.
But yeah, speaking of Pokemon Legends EA, the whole concept at the end of the
Wow,
last
that
chapter
was
is so funny
close.
that
I had that in Fortnite
I had-
too.
yeah, it's so funny that like today marks exactly a month since the presents, and it was a month later that we see the game. And I don't know, because I mentioned this in the post when I was mentioning about the direct. The game looks slightly better, not that much, unless it's just something going out in my eyes, and that's a possibility. But yeah, the game is looking better visually. The game is better in what they kind of tease at the end of the last trailer about that tower, and it's about the ZA Royale thing where you battle trainers at night and rank up. That seems like a cool concept to build a game, or not to say give it artificial padding, because that's what it is.
Where's
I think
Joe?
it's trying to move a narrative forward in that game outside of whatever you do.
Who
But
knows?
that seems cool.
He's the Metroid guy.
He is. Let's go to Piranha Plant Slide. It's been a while since we've been there. Yeah, I think we covered most things in direct, unless there's something we forgot because it probably wasn't important. Sorry.
The audacity.
Yeah, the audacity of that direct not pleasing my aesthetics.
I
I mean-
guess those were words.
I mean, it's apparently the worst direct ever. But it's always the worst direct ever when a direct comes out.
Because it didn't have Silk Song.
It didn't have that. It didn't have. It didn't have Zelda.
I better be at the
Yeah.
Switch
It
too.
didn't. It didn't have Metroid.
It did have
It's
Metroid.
like-
Prime
For-
2 and 3
for
remastered.
me- Like for the indie world stuff, like every other one of those never are not good to me. But to say that this direct didn't do anything for me is one I haven't felt in a while. Usually our direct is like, okay, yeah, there's something there, and there was something in this one, but less so than the last time I ever felt this way about a direct. Because honestly, I feel like this deck was just reminding anyone who doesn't have a Switch or does have a Switch but doesn't read too much into the video games stuff of it. It's like, oh, I get games every 2 years or something like that. Oh, there's games coming for the Switch. That's what I feel like this.
There's always
this-
games for the Switch. The Nintendo Switch has games.
You wouldn't be watching the direct to begin with.
Yeah, we're gonna
Exactly.
say AB what they had.
Monument Valley. Mobile game.
Ah, yes, that looked interesting. I heard of it. But not my cup
Run.
of tea, but yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if it's worth the price because it's like you pre-order it, you get it $1 off. Otherwise, it's like $10. That includes all the DLC.
Only
It's not both
$1 off.
So each game is $10.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dollar Tree.
I mean,
$1.25
$1.25
Yeah, that's what I
tree.
just felt like. Cause like outside, even if we were getting another direct and the direct was focused on Switch 2, I think a lot of people would be more disappointed with this direct. Who really knows?
Oh my
Outside of
God,
the people who usually
lightning.
say the directs in general or just any kind of video game presentation nowadays is just the worst thing ever. But yeah, I think it's a balance act that those who didn't like it this time, but most of the time they like most directs, that it's kind of off balancely corrected by another direct that most people are probably looking forward to. So yeah, it's difficult to put it in feelings for myself when I like most of it, no, even if some are a little
Every
meh.
announcement to be for that.
Say it sucked, Dio.
No, I'm saying it sucks. But I'm just saying that like it's to my taste. I don't wanna
My only mixtape.
yuck someone's yum that they really like this one, you know, but it just wasn't particularly for me.
And Dragon Quest and Metroid Prime 4, pretty, I'd say, top tier games.
Hmm.
And your middle tier wasn't terrible, depending on what you like. But none of the games listed are gonna sell you to get a Switch.
Sure, but like I said, it's there for people who are
When you know the Switch 2
Either
will
no-
play them already, you have no incentive to.
yeah. But regardless, if even people who just own a Switch casually and just happen to know about a direct and happen to know that Switch games can play on Switch 2, those people don't know any better. So who knows? Maybe it did sell people to either get a Switch or get those Switch games. And that's what I feel like this direct was for. And just to remind, oh yeah, we're still making Switch games. It's like, yeah, but all your games were dated in like June and July. Where's the rest? Yeah, it's going to Switch 2.
2026.
Get that. So yeah, 2026 outside of the PB that's left, outside of Ribbon, Heaven, Groove, and Tomodachi Living the Dream. Because like
You better have that game physically.
it's so funny how they split those two games apart and how they showed them. And like we saw one said 2026 because there was, like, again, I said there wasn't a lot of Nintendo games. We really should have seen that another Nintendo game that people were looking forward to that was going to be 2026. But because it would have been so funny that those games could have released this year, but I said nah, let's milk it and sell it in 2026. It would be so funny that they could have released it this year, but yeah.
So,
If you haven't played Monument Valley and you like puzzle games, check it out.
it's like 1, 2, and then 3 coming out later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can get
I
one
think
and two,
Monument
like,
3 is
bundle
coming
on-
out Yeah, I think the Monument games, those are shadow dropping today, and Monument 3 is coming out April 15, I believe. That was one of the April games.
No, they come out like April 15th, I think.
Oh, they all come out April 15. Okay.
No,
No, just
the
1 and
3
2.
comes out later.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can get
oh,
1 and
okay.
2 on
Oh, yeah, yeah,
mobile
yeah,
for
yeah, right,
$7.
yeah. 1 and 2 is April 15, and yeah. I think when they
This
say
includes all the
later, did they
DLC
say
too.
when they said later, did they only just say later, or they said summer? I could be mixing up that they said
Summer.
something similar.
Yeah,
Okay,
if it's summer.
yeah, summer.
So good.
Yeah, a lot. Nintendo's really good at selling games during the summertime, so that's why I think whenever the Switch 2 releases, even though it's been kind of running around for the last couple of days, that pre-orders are gonna open up the same day when we have the Switch 2 Direct. I expected that, but who really knows when the system is gonna release? I still think it's June. I don't know where people lie that it's gonna happen in May.
They're gonna end it and say the Switch 2 is available today. Go to your Best Buy right now. We're pulling a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, don't do that. I'll be surprised if they do that and it actually succeeds. It's like, wait, how come Nintendo does that and it works, but Sega does that because they're Sega?
Because Nintendo
outside of that moment.
Nintendo does what Sega ain't.
Sega
Nintendo does what
Say
Sega
can't.
Segant. I don't know.
Say can't. Gosh.
I just wanted to bring this up, because like I saw this mentioned in I think one of the topics I was reading about like the direct or whatever, or something. But with like the whole thing with like Switch to enhance games and stuff like that, it's like they were thinking it's like they should do it more like how Xbox did it with like their game releases, like
Smart
Xbox.
delivery.
No, so
Okay.
they should do it how Xbox did it when like they were releasing games for like the Xbox One, but like it has on the box like enhanced on Series S and X or whatever.
Oh,
There's like
okay.
free updates too on Xbox.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
It's like
I see what you're saying.
Sony wants you to pay like $10.
basically that way, like with the same SKU rather than how Sony's doing it.
True, because Sony doesn't advertise that. Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo stopped putting a lot of things on their cover cases since the GameCube days. They pretty much stopped putting a lot more details on the Wii. So the chances of that happening, I don't think that's gonna happen, even if we don't know at this moment how enhancements is gonna work or even happen.
They could literally just have it on the top left corner of the box of the case.
True.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
Xbox
I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything bigger than that. I was thinking it's going to be the same size like they did up to the GameCube. It was in the corner, but Nintendo hasn't done that for a while. So I'm just going with history that they have done that. Not they have done that more than they have been doing that. So if they do it, sure.
They
But
put a sticker on the shrink wrap.
maybe. But then the shrink wrap is going to be eventually, well, not even just eventually thrown away. Most people, I would say, throw that stuff away. But
Then you'll see it before you buy it. When you buy it.
Yeah, when you buy it, obviously. But yeah,
It probably
when
just should
it's
be on the
bought
box.
afterwards.
Well, it's kind of like when
Yeah.
when they were doing Nintendo Selects during the Wii and DS generation. Because I was working at Toys R Us at the time. When it first started and they did price drops on games, there was still software out there that didn't have the branding, so the rep would come in and put stickers on the shrink wrap. And then as it sold through, newer shipments would already have that printed on there. So, I mean, that's still an option.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have been.
They could do it
Go
either
ahead.
like long way on the case or like that, depending on like the game.
Yeah.
Because of like the logo and all that.
To protect the artwork or retain it.
Yeah, because even if like Nintendo was doing it just to make sure that you could see the cover art, I'm just going on based on history that they have been not doing it versus then they have been doing it. So that's why I'm leaning on that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it does, sure, that's pretty awesome. But that all depends again if we learn during the Switch 2 Direct next week about any enhancements. And how they work. So there's a lot of clauses to that.
They should do it like, what was that one Batman game where it was like a Game of the Year edition, but it had a ton of like magazine quotes on the cover that like covered up.
I think it was Arkham City.
Probably. I was
Yeah,
like,
I think it was the first Arkham game.
Well, Arkham Asylum.
It was City. Yeah.
It was on City too. Wow.
it's
Actually,
like
I
10
think
out of 10,
it was on
5 out of
City.
5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like what if I remember. Like, it's like stark white with a black and white Batman with a bunch of red text. I think.
Yeah.
That sounds like because wasn't Arkham City, at least some of the cases, because I don't remember the original one, was a white backdrop with black things, shadows, and all that kind of stuff. That's what like Arkham City cover case looked like, right?
I don't know if the original was like that, but I think the Game of the Year
Yeah.
was
like that.
Yeah. I don't think the original was like that, but I think like other titles afterwards, it was a white backdrop with just black not silhouettes, it's like, shadows on the characters, but not like, silhouettes.
Is that like how the Wii U one was?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Wait, do I still have that game? Oh, crap. Actually, I'm not getting in it because my Switch games are bearing my Wii U games, so I'm not digging through my Switch.
Armored Edition.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I can't believe I was so blind that I didn't notice that the frame rate in that game was so shaky because I felt like I never felt it at all.
There's some good stuff on there, like what was it? Oh yeah, here we go. Powered up.
Yeah. See the shadows. That's not like, silhouette, or just call it black and white. Geez, I'm colorblind into colorblind.
But there's color things in the background.
It's colorblind. Yeah, but there's color things in the background. His
There's
fists are blue.
Box art they had before.
Yeah.
Contemporary box art.
I'm sure there's like a lot of editions of that game, and nobody talks about Arkham Origins. That's a good game. It's a short game, but it's a good game.
I mean, people were just it's like when the trilogy came out, they were wondering why Origins wasn't on there because it was actually a good game, according to them.
It's just it's like one of those things like, there was a lot of Assassin's Creed games that take place during the Assassin's 3 era, like 4 take place before 3, and then there was a spin-off with the assassin movie and all that kind of stuff took place in 3, and then he traveled to her place and she traveled to his and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same thing kind of like with Arkham Origins. I don't know how good those Assassin's Creed games were in the same time frame of that, but yeah, even though Arkham Origins, as the name implies, is the origin kind of like, well, not really year one Batman, but essentially it is, because that's when Batman was just starting to be Batman. But yeah, it was a good game, good gameplay, good story as well, and the graphics weren't that bad either. But it's an Arkham game, so yeah, let me see if I can.
Yeah, they did.
I know I have that out somewhere. Let's see.
Yeah, because they did release those like Assassin's Creed collections.
Ah, there it is. Arkham Origins.
TKrazyO collection and like that other one.
Yeah.
Yep. So that means only the first one has never gotten a remastered re-release. In terms of, like the old series.
3 was 3 Black Flag, and I think it's Assassin's Creed Rogue. That you're playing as
Rogue.
Yes, Rogue, yes. Rogue was an interesting game. I have that game. I forget where I bought it. I don't know how far I'm in it.
Can you buy it on its own, or does it have to be part of the collection?
You can buy it on its own. I just don't know where. I don't remember if I bought the game on its own or something else. I think I bought it on Switch because it came with something else. So maybe that's why you're thinking like that, yeah.
All right, well, I am Audi. It has been real, people. Until next time.
Okay, see you next time when we all get blasted away by the Nintendo Switch 2.
Woo!
Yeah, we'll discuss that next Thursday.
Yes, that's gonna be much better than this, because I made it a dollar. I can't help the way that I feel about this direct.
We'll talk about that with mirror mode. Yay!
Just go have yourself some cheesecake. It'll be okay, deal.
Let's get some cheese.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I don't like cheesecake.
That's fine.
Log off now. Log
Yeah.
off. Never return.
Yeah. First, it's like, oh, you ever watch Star Wars or you don't like it? Who is this person? This is an imposter. I kind of always been this way.
Whose man
Even my
is
family
this?
tells me. Even my family tells me the same thing too. Everyone in my family loves cheesecake. I was like, have some. Yeah, I ate some. It's not like I'm refusing that. One of those people who are just stubborn and you don't want to do it. It's just not for me. Like, you know,
You
it
just get
tastes
a
alright,
fork.
but it's not for me.
You just get a fork and like eat some. It's like, mmm. And then when they look away, bleh,
Yeah.
just into a napkin.
Make the noise too, so they know that you don't like
Mmm. You just like spit it into a napkin, and just toss it on the other side of the room.
Okay, see, that is Arkham
Oh.
Origins.
That's what the I think that's what the manual looked like inside of the one for the Wii U.
You can see all the bad guys on his, what is that, his left shoulder, his right
Yeah.
shoulder?
Like the good angel, the bad angel. Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind.
Yeah.
What was I going
And that's
to
how
say?
PlayStation 3 games used to look back in the day because their logo doesn't look like that. Like newer PlayStation 3 games don't look like that.
All they do is use the Spider-Man logo from the movies.
I think
Mm.
isn't that the
Same
newer
font.
logo? Because yeah, I
Is it
thought,
the newer logo? Let me see.
yeah, because
If I
that's the
have
one.
an
Yeah.
older PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah, the older one has the name on, console name on the spine.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that one
you showed up
is
the-
Spider-Man
you showed
font.
the
That's
newer
the
one.
newer one.
I'm looking at Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. That's where that game came out before Arkham, and the logos are both on the spine.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have any? Oh wait. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, this is okay. I have a Naruto game. This game is what you guys are talking about. That it's old.
Let's see. What's that doing?
Let's take a quick look. I
If you look on the
forgot
original
about that.
model PS3, it has just like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that someone mentioned it. I was like, oh my gosh, it is.
They were riding high off the popularity of the Spider-Man movies back then.
Yeah.
I think. You're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, get a PlayStation 3. You can get Spider-Man on
There we
Blu-ray
go.
and
That's what you guys were
Talladega
talking
Nights
about.
on Blu-ray.
Didn't
Yeah, there you
Spider-Man
go.
2 come with the PSP?
I completely forgot
yeah.
about that. It's one of those things that's like, it's like my brain had a revisionist history. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
there's-
games always used to look like the Arkham, not the Naruto one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. I think PSP you did get a UMD of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Another game card of game cartridge on a Game Boy Advance. A Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the entire movie
Yeah,
on the Game Boy
Spider-Man.
Advance.
The Spider-Man 3 game on the
Like
DS was
Video
pretty
Now or
cool.
something like that. I forgot what it was called.
I think I used to have that game, but for some reason, because of just who I am, I
Or less
lost
than
some of my
360p.
DS games,
Things like
including
144
Spider-Man 3
maybe.
and that Mega Man Double Team Battle Network game where I had Proto Man and Colonel on the cartridge for DS. I lost that game. I'm so mad and pissed at myself that I lost such a rare game.
Darn.
Oh well.
Is that in the collection?
Well, no, not the collection that came out. Was it last year? The year before last year, where it has all the Mega Man games from 1 to 6. But there was a DS game that had both versions of Mega Man 5 for Proto Man and Colonel. Quite an exclusive game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost that game. I don't know where it is. I lost it years ago.
Oh,
Just like I know I lost the DS remake of Final Fantasy IV on the DS. I lost that game. And well, any DS game are hard to find now and expensive, but I'm assuming that Mega Man one must be really, really hard because I don't think they made a lot of it. Not to say there's even a lot of Final Fantasy IV DS.
yeah. Well, at least for Final Fantasy IV DS, you can still get it on modern platforms. Like I can get it on
Yes.
Steam if I want.
Yeah, okay, let me see. I have
Is
a
it a
little.
Battle
Yeah.
Network game?
Yeah, Yeah, Battle Network 5,
Yeah.
Double Team.
Double
Yeah.
Team. It was called Double Team. I think it was
Yeah,
Double
I'm-
Team DS because you know how Nintendo
Yeah.
they put all their system names in their games. I'm glad I didn't lose Chrono Trigger for the DS. I would have been really mad if I lost that.
Yeah, I still have
That
that.
could be right.
Yep.
It says it.
And you know,
someone's selling it pre-owned on eBay for $20.
I still have
Walmart has it for $20.
Final Fantasy 3 for the DS. It's not a bad game, but not to say that each Final Fantasy in the earlier days got better than the other ones, but 3 wasn't that bad on the DS. I just like 4 more on the DS.
This game is not that expensive.
You're talking about
Which
Final
one?
Fantasy?
Or the Double Team?
Yeah, Battle Network 5.
How much? How much? Even though it's probably gonna be US dollars, but
Yeah, I see like $20 and like.
what?
I'll send you the link.
Wow, what are people thinking? I'm not saying
what
they shouldn't be
Google says.
charging like $150. That game it's amazing, guy. Oh,
Like an
did
eBay
any of
listing for
you
$20.
have any of you
Walmart
guys ever got or used the Nintendo DS browser? I still have the cartridge for that for some reason.
No. I
No.
was gonna get it, but never did. I only use the DSi browser.
DSi, 3DS.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay,
have
so
no
I just wanted
No,
to,
it's not.
so while you look at that, just wanted to mention something like about last week. You remember when Adriana was inviting us to Mario Party and stuff like that?
Mhm.
So like she was just inviting anybody because she was streaming Jamboree. So I went over to her stream after Mario Kart last week because like I rated her stream or whatever with like whoever was left, which was I think it was basically me. So I was just watching her play it. And then I ended up playing the Bowser Kaboom Squad, that mode, with her for like a few, I think it was like 3. I think we did like either 2 or 3 rounds of that. And then after that she just continued playing it with the people that were watching the stream and whatnot, so yeah.
Huh, I thought I had a lot more DS games because I'm looking at my Nintendo DS cases and I have like less than 20, and I see like only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. All
'cause I-
cartridges, but I have 20 cases.
Yeah, because I probably
You
have
buy
to look
DS
up.
games online, you gotta be careful to make sure they're not fake.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So the 12 DS games I have, because I already mentioned some of them,
That's for
Spider-Man 3, Nintendo DS, Final Fantasy 3, Bowser Inside Story, Pokemon White, Pokemon White 2.
The Pokemon one.
I already mentioned
Well, they gotta
Chrono
be white.
Trigger. I'm surprised I got 2 white versions because when it came to Sun and Moon, I got Sun and then I got Ultra Moon. I switched it up. But
That makes
yeah.
sense.
I have both of the Zelda DS games, Hourglass and Spirit Track, even though I love Spirit Track more.
I don't remember if I got that on the Wii U Virtual
Phantom
Console.
Hourglass, yeah. Phantom Hourglass had to walk so Tracks can run on
Yeah, that you
tracks.
just keep going back and redoing everything all the time.
I didn't mind it. It was a novel concept, and not to say they kind of reformatted that in the much later Zelda temples that we are, if you can call them temples or dungeons now. But yeah, Pokemon Soul
I'll just go ahead and do
Silver.
the results now.
So you guys remember that certain DS carts were black. Soul Silver was one of those that were black. Do you remember why it was black?
The black has like an IR thing in it.
Yeah. But I think there was, I don't think that was the only game that was black. I think there were a few other cartridges that were black. I just don't remember.
It's like it was for that
what did I miss?
like that Pokeball thingy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to communicate with that. But I'm pretty sure there were other DS games, unless they just wanted to decorate it black. But I know that it was black because of the IR and the Pokewalker. I'm pretty sure you guys remember the game Spectrobes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
have that for the DS, and I have Brain Age 2. Those are my DS games.
Alright, hopefully people can see this on the
Yeah.
stream here.
I could go out to see the 8 other DS cases to see if the other games are inside it, but I'm not gonna say I trust why. Cause I could check. There was this Nintendo when Club Nintendo was still around. I know I ordered a 3DS looking game case that could hold up to like 18 3DS games in there. So I, rotate my 3DS games because I have a lot more 3DS games than I do DS games. I thought I had it.
I probably have to count mine.
Cause yeah, I have like 20 DS games when I'm looking at the case there. But
Probably
yeah,
about the same.
yeah, it just goes to show that every generation, regardless of my game tastes evolving or changing, like, yeah, I didn't have a lot of Wii U games, but out of all the systems I own throughout the year, I've owned the most with Switch so far. Wii U is almost as much as the install base that it's so little compared to how many physical Switch games I have compared to Wii U, compared to PlayStation 3 and my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. My PlayStation 5 wouldn't say it's bigger than my PlayStation 4. I would say my PlayStation 4 and my PlayStation 3 are about maybe the same amount physical case-wise. But yeah, more 3DS games than DS. Wow. I'm looking at this Double Team DS, $20. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's just a game only, no box.
I would like to have the case.
All
Wait,
points,
do
no
I even
quiz.
still have the case? Because it's usually the case that It's usually the case that when you lose a game that's small, you lose the game itself, but the case still is around. Let me see if it's a part of my 20.
It's like I don't think people threw out their DS or 3DS cases.
I'm seeing.
It's usually stuff that came in cardboard boxes.
I'm seeing a Mega Man 5 game here. Oh, I do still have the case. Okay, I can get the game and still have the case. Okay, that's
The
cool.
game in there?
Let me open up because I'm pretty sure it isn't. Yeah, it's not in there. I still have the instruction manual because everyone remember instruction manuals. People who don't remember it, you are not old.
I mean, I've gotten games on the Wii U and the Switch that have like a little instruction manual in them. They're like special editions and stuff like that. Like either Shantae or like the East games.
Wow, that is so tempting to get that, man. $20. So that means it'll be maybe $40, not even $30 Canadian. That seems pretty worth it because DS games, at least in Canada, I don't know how much it costs for you guys with tax. I think it was like $45, which was around the same time, the same cost of how much 3DS games used to cost as well, because I don't think they were any different in price. DS
There's
games and
another
3DS
listing
games.
for $20. I don't know how good the cartridge is on this one.
Hmm.
I don't have a picture of the cartridge. This other listing does too.
The thing is, even though I've owned this game on the GBA and I got this game again, because it just seemed neat, because not to say 5 is like one of my favorite of all of them, 5 is not that bad. If I have to rank all of them, 5 is like maybe top 3. And then I bought it again with the whole collection on the Switch and other platforms it came on. So, but this is a really unique version, even though everything is the same. There are some unique differences that makes it worth it just to buy it again and again at this price. So that's what makes it just so attractive looking at it. I was like, wow.
Hey, like speaking of Tamagotchi life,
$3 for shipping.
Adriana is currently playing that on her stream.
Tamagotchi life?
Yeah. Well, Tamagotchi.
So weird. Like my character married Vicky from Swap Note and had like 5 kids.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Post.
I still remember one of my kids in that game is still trapped in an airport in France, I believe.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yep.
What the heck? I'm looking at some of the cartridge only of the game on eBay that you gave me here, AB, and the sticker label is crooked on one of them, and they're selling it for $39. Wow, they think that's worth it. The way people priced up on eBay.
Well, eBay has to take a cut too.
Yeah,
They need your money.
definitely get it. You know, shipping costs money. When is shipping not cost money? But I'm just saying that like the label is crooked. Like I get it that like people will pay money if something is deformed because it's a rare defect, like the whole Samus amiibo having 2 arm cannons. Yes, sell that for more.
Okay, here's one. It says $15, but it's like $5 for shipping.
Hmm.
Just like outright buy that one.
The description just says acceptable.
Yeah,
That's
almost not any different than the one you gave me for $20 and the shipping is $5.
Go backwards.
The thing is that the math will just work out to be the same to the other game you're looking at. So, not to say if you could find a cheaper game and cheaper shipping, yeah,
There's
probably gonna take you through.
and $2 for shipping.
But not to say I'm looking for cheaper, because like paying the crooked label, the crooked label one, and they're selling for $39. That's already worth it. But if I see it like at $50, I would say that's too much. Even though in my head is like, okay, honestly, this game is so good, and I feel like it's rare. I would. Well, it's weird to say I would personally sell it for $150. So to say that $50 is the line where I wouldn't buy it, but I would buy this at $39. But so. Getting it any cheaper at $14, I'm not saying it lessens it, and it's nice to get things cheap, but yeah, I would pay, between $20 and $39.
It's it says 4 parts not working. It
That's.
doesn't work?
And what do you mean by 4 parts? I didn't. It's like
There are
yeah,
4 parts. There are
the
multiple
contacts
parts.
No, look at the contacts on there. They're like way dirty. They're like all.
Okay, they're probably talking about that, because like yeah, we can imagine what makes a cartridge works, and there's parts in it, but it's like, how do you know which parts and 4 parts doesn't work? That's a very interesting detail.
Read that.
Read it and weep.
Oh wow, the one you gave me.
No manual.
Yeah, the one that you gave me for the $19, they're saying this is coming from Miami, Florida.
Oh yeah, that's just I'm just winning on that one. Okay, let's see.
You don't get to see the game. Picture of it.
They'll put like case in like lowercase letters. And then you buy it, it's just a case.
Yeah. It's like we're selling PS5s and they just give people the box.
That is hilarious. I didn't catch that. Max reacts. Stayed up to 7 a.m. for this full Nintendo Direct. I feel you, Max. I feel you. I'm just glad it was at 10 a.m. Not as compared to people on the West Coast when the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be 6 a.m. But I think it's going to be worth it for 6 a.m. There's always going to be the people, whether it's the same people who think it's not worth it, but we're going to say something. So
there you go. Like, insert the game card. No. Hey, why is that still there? Man. I should have told Serge that I played up with Sig yesterday. But yeah. It's like trying to think of. It's like trying to think of like any multiplayer games that like maybe crossplay that I could play with viewers or something.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you can play on PC. I thought that's what you were implying.
I don't play games on PC.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that,
Anymore.
like, to invite more people who can play with Switch games, kind of like with Fall Guys, you can play on PC and anything else. I think you meant like that, not you personally.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I mean.
Oh,
Is,
okay. Yeah,
like-
because I wasn't saying that you personally and PC and playing games with others. Yeah.
There's like games that are like either crossplay or like allow a lot of players at once. I know like there are games out there that are like practically dead. Like the Star Wars Battlefront collection games. But it's like,
Wait, isn't the servers for one of those games shutting down soon? Unless I'm mixing
Yeah,
some.
Star Wars Hunters.
Hunters.
Yeah.
Different
I've
games.
heard, yeah.
That game came out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That game came out barely a year ago, and that just goes to show you not everyone can be a Fortnite. Which, you know, that's the least you can hope for, or not hope for. But yeah.
Because people started developing their games way too late.
Yeah. I
By
would
the time
say
they got
that.
finished developing it, like the trend was already over. No one wanted to do that anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the benefit that works in Nintendo's favor for their upcoming games. Probably won't take that long to develop. Like, it's still going to be a length, but compared to the bigger juggernauts and all that kind of stuff, it's going to work in their favor. So I think on top of everyone realizing this will be the first time, knock on wood, that Nintendo will have two successful systems back to back, instead of it had a successful system, and when its swan song of that system dies, it literally dies, and trying to recover back what they came back, that like it's understandable that, you know, the Switch had the launch games that it had, and look where it is now. So I think it's going to be an interesting launch, and going forward, third party wise, who's going to be putting games on the Switch and going forward. So I think
What
it's going
about
to build
NES
up.
and Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I was gonna say that does count as one as well, I suppose, but it's more like I look at the NES to the Super NES kind of like what happened between the DS and the 3DS, because I wouldn't say that Nintendo looks at the 3DS as a failure, but when you compare to how much they sold in the DS, I can see why they say that. So I look at the NES and the Super NES as those two comparisons. The SNES didn't do as well as the NES. Because I think people bring that up as an example. It's like, yeah, they had two successes, but I would say that, like, yeah, I agree with what most people are saying, that Nintendo Switch 2 is not going to reach the heights of Switch 1 here, but it's going to get, yeah, it might get pretty close, but it's definitely going to sell over 100 million. I think it's pretty easy to resell back the same people who bought the previous gen, that they're going to be over 100 million easy.
You can get like a cheaper model out.
So yeah, because whether the success is not going to be built up right away, I think they just have a lot of momentum to start, and who's going to buy it, not to say regardless of the games are coming on there, but I think this thing will have games, and we'll see what happens next week Wednesday.
I mean, Nintendo Switch has games, so by proxy, Nintendo Switch 2 would have games because it's backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch, which has games.
Yes, momentum on top of momentum. You know what? Now that I think about it, people, I think now, because I think AB, you were one of the few people who didn't like the Nintendo Switch 2 name. I'm not sure where you see it now, but speaking of momentum and, you know, everything going with Nintendo and
Somewhat in the like full of Sony, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 4, 5.
yeah, and I definitely get that. Yeah, I definitely get that, and when it comes to, you know, people who just have creative mind and how Nintendo just name things and stuff like that, if I have to think of a name now, but it sounds kind of cocky for Nintendo to name the system that, Nintendo Momentum, but That doesn't seem like it rings any bells, but I can see
Mm.
we're just calling it that as like, what are you trying to imply here, Nintendo? That you're the greatest thing ever, and no matter what you do, you're always gonna succeed, and yeah, Nintendo momentum. But you could call it momentum Nintendo. That sounds even weirder, but they're still both weird.
Yeah, if I get to make
Again, the Memento sounds like a fitness kind of thing that they would come up with.
It would. It would be so funny to say we rename the Wii Fit series to Momentum Nintendo or Nintendo Momentum.
It's fit.
Oh gosh. I don't think they would do that. They would call it the same name so people recognize, even though Ring Fit Adventure has nothing to do with all their exercising stuff.
Let's call
but
it Nintendo Switch Fit with the Nintendo Switch Sports.
yeah. Not to say that rolls off the tongue, but Wii is just a one-syllable word, so it's pretty easy just to remember that compared to just saying Nintendo Switch Sports. Like, that's a mouthful. Like, who can remember that?
Yeah, when I get to the game console making in Game Dev Tycoon, that's what I'm going to name my console. Momentum.
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to remember, what was the code name for the Wii U? Was it like Cafe something? I'm trying to
Project
remember.
Cafe.
Yeah, Project Cafe. Obviously, we know the project name for Switch was NX. Wait a minute, are we ever gonna find out what the project name for Nintendo Switch 2 is?
We already knew it.
What do you mean we already knew it? What was the name?
It was, I don't remember, but we already knew it.
Yeah, I don't think it was
there.
ever said. It
It,
was.
it,
If
it probably
there,
was, yeah.
Okay, if it was, do you remember what it was then, Crazy? Because it seems like you knew, or you're just saying it.
Yeah, there was
No.
like a code name leak.
Yeah, a lot of things
Oh,
leaked for the
yeah.
Switch too. It was like, that was likely one of them.
Wait, wasn't there the Nintendo Fusion?
Nintendo Fusion.
Wasn't that
Yeah, I
the...
thought I remember that being
Yeah,
one
like
of
a
the
tour
code
like in the
names.
early 2000s with like different bands and stuff called Nintendo Fusion Tour.
Yeah, that sounds like it was something through the GBA. Sounds like. Yeah.
It's probably like the Wii or something. Like when they're trying to like make fake consoles or whatever. The Nintendo On.
Wait, was on spelled with two N's? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah, it was
No.
Ounce. That was the code name, Ounce. OUNCE.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes, because when the rumors were going about when they were gonna not remake, do a 4K version of Breath of the Wild, it was called something with Ounce and King. So yeah, you're right. The code name is Ounces. Yeah, it's funny how I forgot that. 'Cause not to say it's the most original name ever, but
Yeah, the 2N thing. It's like the 2N thing on. That would be infringing on Walmart's copyrights. Because like their electronics are called On.
Nintendo can battle Walmart if they can. You know,
Walmart.
battle anyone who sues them.
Walmart is the biggest retail chain out there.
It is. It's bigger than Target. Get out of here. Or Target.
I-
whatever the hell you guys
Oh,
call it.
actually, the biggest like chain in the world is like 7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven is everywhere.
Retail chain, yeah. Not really a retail, but...
Yeah, it's called Target. It's like if people want to sound fancy when shopping there, they say Target.
Yeah, which I'm never gonna get why, because like that's like saying, oh, how do you say garbage in French? It's not garbage.
It's not garbage. You gotta go garbage.
Yeah, like your
Oui,
friends
oui.
laugh like that back in your terms.
Yeah, so just like randomly, it's like I was playing Game Dev Tycoon, like probably like a month or so ago. Just like trying to make games and such like that. It's like I reached like the final year or whatever. It's like I can continue after it, but it's like looking at the final score stuff and whatnot. It's like my most profitable game was called Up, Up, and Away.
Oh, I don't really say that a lot. Okay.
I think it was a superhero game. I think it was like a superhero. It was either a superhero action or like simulation game. But it's like I don't remember if. Cause like I don't remember if. It's like if it was a published game or it was a self-made game for me.
You can't do both.
I mean, you can do both. It's like in the game. It's like you start off like in a garage or whatever, and then like you basically work your way up. Basically get to the point where you basically get to the point where you can like you get a bigger office and you can hire more employees and stuff like that. And like when you get more employees and like get more money, you get the option to make medium-sized games. Like you start off making small games or whatever, but like medium-sized and large games, you basically need you basically put like specific employees in charge of certain aspects of your game, like while developing it. So, with basically starting off, like you basically need, I think 1 million fans before you can make medium games by yourself. Because like you can make them at like any time, but it's better to have over 1 million fans before making medium-sized games. That's why like the publisher contracts are out there. So like they'll give you like a genre and like whatever console that they want it for. And like your game has to get a score of X number for like the contract to be completed. If you get lower than that, then it's like you don't get the money for it. Well, you don't get the money like after the fact. So it's like your games, published games, they tend to get more sales, but you get less money from them. So like when you publish your own games, then it's like you'll get more money from more sales or whatever. Makes sense. So it's like I'm thinking that game that was the most profitable was a published game. It was like for like a publishing contract or whatever. Because I don't think it was a high scoring one, but I mean it was my most profitable. And then I mean it was also my best seller. Which is sold it sold 11.9 million. But it's like that's
I have to make games in there like are playable.
I mean, it's like you don't play the games. This is basically like develop them. It's like you name.
You realize that I'm not interested in making games. I'm more fun making the music in that game.
Yeah.
So is that similar to like Mario Kart or any other games that you make that in order for the game to be like created or uploaded or something like that, you have to beat your own game before you like put it out there? Is it one of those conditions too?
No, it's not like that. It's basically like an in-game thing. You just it's like you don't actually like create a game or whatever. It's like an in-game thing. It's like if you look up videos, you'll see like what it is. I can't really explain it. It's like you don't actually make a game and like have to play it and stuff like that. It's like like maybe like some of those like food simulation games that are on the eShop and stuff like that. It's like you put people at a station and it's like they work there and then it's like automatic stuff or whatever. No. Look up a video of Game Dev Tycoon.
Something like Cooking Simulator.
Yeah, but like you're not actually. It's like you're not actually doing anything. You're just putting people in like certain positions and like they like automatically do stuff.
So it's not like Cooking Mama.
No.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just still asking a bunch of questions, and seeing where I'm getting closer, even though I know what you're saying.
Because like you don't actually do anything. You just go through a bunch of menus.
Menus to a game. Some people like them. Most people don't.
Because like I can't really think of it.
Annoying. Yeah, as I say, if you want to sound annoying in French, you know, just like how people, you know, not people, mostly kids, but I guess grown people can say this when they say why. Just say why in French. Pourquoi? Just keep saying pourquoi over and over again. Pourquoi?
It's like that was
I wonder how you would say why not in French. That would be interesting. I should probably look that up and see how that's pronounced.
What's his name in French?
Why not? well, yeah. Obviously, that's not his name, but yeah. I'm just talking about the Pokemon one, not
to Google.
And I'm singing that Chrono Trigger battle theme in my head.
Let's see. Okie.
That sounds annoying, but that sounds like a monkey.
But the monkeys stay in rhythm heaven.
So, even though I haven't played much of the Rhythm Heaven, is there anyone from that series of game that could become a fighter in Smash Brothers?
The Chorus Kids.
Yes.
The wrestler.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Isn't there like a wrestler guy who can't stop sweating?
That's because that's the interview after the match. You're gonna be all sweaty.
I always see him sweating.
Because it's after the match. Because I played the game. I haven't finished it yet. I need to go back to it.
But yeah, because like I know like people back in the day, or kind of still now, say the most outlandish characters, and like I think very few people choose characters from Rhythm Heaven. So.
But this guy.
Oh yeah.
Party Joe or whatever.
Okay, yeah. I think I remember his name is wrong. Yeah. I don't know. When I look at these characters, even like the Chorus Kids and the Karate Man and the wrestlers, I think those guys would be nice as assist trophies. Am I wrong, or that sounds disrespectful to say that they're assist trophies? Because you know, assist trophy. Because remember, Little Mac was a assist. Remember, Little Mac was an assist trophy in Brawl, so you know, you never know. Unlike Waluigi was assist trophy twice, but can't win them all.
I mean, Waluigi was an assist trophy, and they still expected him as a DLC fighter in Smash.
Well,
it's like, how?
There except for him.
So many people voting for Crazy's character every time he wins with him, and that's why he's a king. He was pretty popular.
Yeah, he was.
Well, at least I recognize that than Star Fox. That would be really weird that they cut Star Fox characters from the next Smash. As due to Star Fox's unpopularity, he will not be joining Smash. Then why is Captain Falcon still in the game? This meeting is over.
Why is Captain Falcon still in the game? Throw him out the window.
That's not to say compare apples to oranges, and those two game series are not really as popular as like Nintendo knows the strict numbers of popularity between those two series. So it's like, yeah, just like we discussed a few weeks ago, Captain Falcon has been in more Smash Bros. Games than his own series. Oh my gosh, it's crazy nuts.
You also have this guy in the I have him. Or no. Remember that
Oh yeah, I was
the
thinking
wrestler
about
guy,
it.
you never see him wrestling.
Oh, that's why he looks. It's okay. I was like, why does he look like this?
You push the A button to inflate them.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute, wasn't there another rhythm game that was on the DS and it had to do with three guys in a suits? I'm trying to remember the name. Was it Elite Agents?
Elite, yeah, Elite Beat.
Yep.
Although I don't know what the Japanese name of it was.
It was like Otsu or something.
Osuden or something? Oh yes.
Yeah.
I wonder where it happened to that game, because there was only one game of that. Not to say there would have been sequels. I'm trying to remember. There was another. I don't remember the publisher, but it came out during the early days on the 3DS, and I think there was also a demo of it. And the guy was like a French thief. I'm trying to remember, and it was a rhythm game too. I'm just forgetting the name.
Oh, that Sega one?
Yeah.
It was made by Sega?
Yeah.
Oh, it was wow.
Yeah.
It was on the tip of my tongue. Like, it literally had the name I was talking about, but just add the word TV. I should finish that game on the 3DS because it was pretty interesting. I forgot why I stopped playing it. And I really hope it isn't because it's something that, like, it was annoying, because I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else thought that and I didn't think that, and why it could just be any number of reasons why I just stopped playing. But what was the name of the thief? Was it something with an R? Was his name Raphael? I don't remember. Not to say he looks like a Raphael, because that's just rude.
Yeah, it's Raphael.
Okay. And didn't he also have a dog too?
I think so.
Yeah, it's on the cover.
I bought that game digitally. Wait, there was a physical version of that game?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh well. Not to say that really mattered that whatever version I bought, but yeah. You know what? I'm thinking something to remember because I played the demo, but I don't remember if I got the game right away, even though that was an early 3DS launch game, not like when the 3DS first came out, but I'm pretty sure I got that game on sale. And not to say that how long ago would it have been on sale not to say when the game first came out. Obviously, when a game first comes out, it'll be a while it was on sale, but
Rayman 2. Because I ended up getting that on the 3DS when it was on sale digitally. And I played it and it was awesome. Like it was back then.
I don't know why I was thinking the dog was black. That was weird.
Why's he gotta be black?
I know that he was that. I know he was that size, but I don't know why my mind did an inverse of it being white and it was actually black. But yeah,
It's probably black in Japan. I don't know.
Well, again, not
Cultural inappropriation.
It's almost midnight here, so I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
You're gonna bounce?
Good races, everyone. Until I see you next time, I'm most likely gonna see you in the Smash there crazy on Saturday, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. Isn't this Saturday as the Smashdown, right? Or no? I don't remember. No, it isn't. It's next week. Next week.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah,
It's
see
choose-
Smash
It's choose your handicap.
Yeah. So, yeah, see you in Smash this Saturday, crazy, and good games, everyone. Good races.
Good races.
Good races, everyone.
Okay, good night.
Good night,
Later.
Abby. Later. Oh. I want to eventually play like the other two Paper Mario games on the Switch. Oh. Oh. Okay, so these are the results for tonight's races. It's still tonight because it's 3 minutes to midnight over here. So yeah, basically, yeah, something I brought up, but it was like kind of like all over the place with like my explanation for like the whole virtual game card thing from the Nintendo Direct. So it's like I'm fine with it. There are people that aren't fine with it because they would have no use for it because people hate options. And then there are people that hate it because it's like they have it in their mind that they're going to remove like one option and just stick with this option. And then you have people that don't have all the that either do not have all the information or they're it's like, what's the word? They're misinterpreting the information. Because then like you have people saying with the virtual game card thing, since it'll be on both the Switch and the Switch 2, it's like that's the way to play digital Switch 1 games on the Switch 2, even though it's like it is a way to do that. There's also the system transfer that you're likely going to be able to do. So it's like that. It's like they think it's like the sole. It's like they think it's the sole way to play digital Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. But I mean, as I'm just thinking, is like why would they implement that for that reason if all they basically need to do is just transfer the eShop over? Is I basically have like either combine the eShops so it has Switch 1 and Switch 2 games, or like have two different eShops. It's like when you go into the eShop on the Switch 2, it's like you can maybe have the options of like having a combined eShop, have just the Switch 2 eShop, or have the Switch 1 eShop. It's like, makes sense, right? Options. But people hate options. So it's like, even so, it's like you just do a system transfer, like if you want to do that. Because like it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible to just do that, like have like all your stuff go to the Switch 2. And like with the virtual game card thing or whatever, it's like you should be able to still transfer, like still unlock digital games and like send them to like a Switch 1 if you wanted to. I'm sure like that will be a functionality. It's like you can only do that with like Switch 1 games basically. From Switch 2 to Switch 1. It's not Switch 2 games to the Switch 1 or whatever. So it's like continuing that point. It's like there's misinformation on that front, according to some people. There's also the people. It's like there's also the person, which ends up like starting an echo chamber that thinks that the Switch 2 is going to be digital only, even though it's like there's so much going against Nintendo doing that from the perspective of Switch haters, or well, not Switch haters, Nintendo haters, or like basically opinionated Nintendo fans, that it's like it wouldn't make sense to do that, but they think Nintendo's dumb enough to do that because it's Nintendo. It's like they say that because it's Nintendo. They do something like this. It's like, how did that work out for the PSP Go? It's like there's so many factors. There's so many factors that point to them not going the digital only route for the Switch 2. It's like one of them is the game cartridge slot. Well, the game card slot. But that's only for Switch 1 games. They haven't showed the game cards for the Switch 2 yet. But it's like, why show it at all if it's not going to use cards? And it's like with the whole cards thing, it's like you got to think back to like everything with the cards. It's like everything with like the storage capacity for the cards that they've been working on. It's like the highest amount of storage that they've been working on is 64 gigabytes, I believe. It's like it's mainly like a price issue for like getting the game cards for games for like developers and publishers and whatnot. Which is why they go for the lower end stuff. And why there are so many games physically that you have to download most of the game for, which basically makes the game card useless. So I think if it's to the point where the higher end, like basically 32 gigabytes, like 32 gigabyte game cards are at a good enough price for developers, then I think most developers would use that one. With like 64 being like the end, basically like the end all be all to like get their game on there without having to result to downloading most of the game. And then like still keeping like the lower end cards for indie games and stuff like that. Because like a lot of the let me turn this up. Yeah, because a lot of indie games, whereas like graphically, I say graphically are on like maybe basically lower. It's like N64 and lower. They're on the lower end of like file size. It's like the higher ones is like they look like graphically they look good and stuff like that. And it's like they might have like expansive worlds and such like that. They go pretty high. It's like they can go for like the medium size carts if they basically want to go physical. So basically my whole thing with like the whole digital only like fear mongering is that if you look at the facts throughout the Switch's life, it doesn't make sense to go all digital. Because as much as you guys complain about Nintendo's online infrastructure, whether it's like online play or like the eShop, how it runs, and stuff like that, and then also look at the storage for the console itself, it's like minus using SD cards, well, micro SD cards for space. Like minus using like all of that. It's like, why would they go digital only? It's like you have to put sales into perspective. It's like most of their sales are physical that we know of because they don't report on digital sales. So it's like in that sense, if the fear-mongering digital-only clubs minds, if that would only make sense if digital sales were trumping over physical sales. No relations to the president. It's like basically enveloping the physical sales. It's like the digital sales for like everything are way more than physical sales, to the point that they can abandon the physical side and just go digital. That they think that they would profit more from going digital only and basically alienating anybody that buys their games physically. That they think that they can profit more on that. Which would basically lead to needing more storage for the console itself. Because people don't like 32 gigabytes for the regular Switches up to the OLED. It's like they don't like the 64 gigabytes that the OLED offers. It's like it's better than the original Switch, but it's like they still don't like it. They're thinking 1 terabyte. They're thinking 1 terabyte, maybe 2. Maybe even more. And that's costly. And it's like you hate the price. It's like you hate the price of the Switch, maybe. It's like because of the storage on it. It's like more storage is just gonna raise the price. And it's like with the Switch 2 being a new console, it's like it's going to be more expensive than the Switch is currently. It's like you could probably do 1 terabyte. You could probably do 1 terabyte and it'd be $500. $500 or $450, maybe. But it's like it being a stronger system, having like a bunch more technology into it, is going to cost more. Storage capacity for the system itself. More storage is going to be more costly, to the point where it's going to raise the price. It's going to raise the price up so much that you're going to hate the price of the Switch 2. Even though it's like you're going to hate it like regardless, but you're going to hate it when it's even higher because of the storage capability. If it's like 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes or whatever. But it's like, in that case, if it were digital only, like people are fear-mongering, if it is digital only, it needs more storage. And it's like it basically have to be higher than a terabyte. It's like probably 2 terabytes would probably be the limit. Will probably be like the minimum. It's like they could do 1, but it's like I think most people will want 2. Because depending on like the size of games that we get, it's like all these third-party companies that don't know how to compress their games, and like want to use like every texture in like every texture, every like piece of music like raw textures, raw music files, stuff like that, instead of like compressing them to the point where it does not affect the music at all, but it compresses it to like something that's a great size. It's like same thing with textures and stuff like that. Looking at you, Activision, is like if they don't do that, there's gonna be games that are like way higher than 64 gigabytes and stuff like that. It's like there are games. It's like I think there's at least a game or two, or like even more, that won't fit on the original Switch without like an SD card. It's like it won't fit on the onboard storage. It's like there are probably games on there that won't fit on the onboard storage for the Switch OLED. But it's like you don't want a digital only. You don't want a digital only system with low storage, but you don't want it with like a good amount, like 1 terabyte, and then still have these huge behind games like all over the eShop or whatever. Like these AAA games and stuff like that are like really huge, to the point where it's like at some point you're going to have to start deleting games to get more games. It's like even though you have the capacity of expanding it with micro SD and stuff like that, it's like those sizes are going up and all that. So they're expensive, but it's like the sizes are going up or whatnot, and that'll be a factor. But it's like all in all, it's like what I'm talking about is like everything. It's like people watching the direct, like mostly everybody being disappointed in it, saying it's the worst direct ever, even though like they all are the worst directs ever. Like every direct is the worst ever. It just like keeps going up and up and up. It's like you can have what you asked for and somebody would still be disappointed, to the point where they're saying it's the worst direct ever. But it's like you have those people that complain, but then it's like you also have those people, you also have like cool aspects to stuff that are like presented, but it's like, oh, but like this company does this better. Like this company does this better. It's like, that's fine. But then like you're going into it like you're just bashing it for the sake of bashing it. It's like they shouldn't have done this. They should have did this with their infrastructure and stuff like that. Like that or like just fear mongering with like just saying DRM, but like not really like expanding on that. Just DRM. Like DRM. Which is like, I don't know like exactly all that entails, but basically everything was explored in like the video for it. You just need like one check. You just need one check with like sharing with family, people on your family plan, basically. Basically sharing with them is like just one check. To basically see like you're both, it's like you're both part of the family plan. So like now you can share a game with them. It's like, I think that's basically the only thing that is checking, basically. But it also could be it also could be something to deal kind of with piracy. There's like people like that. It's like you pirate a digital game. It's like, would they be able to tell if it was pirated? It's like, who knows? But it's like most of the stuff will be debunked next week with the Switch 2 Direct. And it's like, the thing is with that is like, people are going to hate that. People are going to fearmonger on that because that's just what they do. It makes no sense to fearmonger on it because it's like there's been no evidence that the Switch 2 will be the Switch 2 games will be digital only. There's like been nothing saying that. But it's like, you guys be you. You be you. It's like there's so much stuff that goes against what you're fearing. Like this virtual game card thing. It's optional. It's like the whole like sharing games thing or whatever. It's like they think that's going to just overall replace that. But they don't know if they don't know if it will. It's like at some point they would announce something like that if they were. But it's like if they don't, then they have nothing to fear but fear itself. So yeah, this is my thoughts on things. Like as far as the Direct is concerned, it's like it's like most of the games shown, I'm not really interested in. Some of them looked interesting, like I think there was a Witchbrook. It's like that looked cool. It's like that. Dragon Quest is like always looks good. The No Sleep for Kaname Date. It's like the AI. Well, I think it's AI. The Somnium Files. It's like that series. I played the first demo. It was pretty interesting. I never got the game though, but I know it's currently on sale. I know the first two games are on sale. I'm not sure if they're on sale in because let me actually check. Because I know it's a Spike Chunsoft sale. But let me see if they have a little link here for that sale on here. Let me scroll down. And they don't, so I have to go to Great Deals. But it's like if they are, it's like they're on sale for like, I think up to 90% off. I think there are like some games on there that was that were only on sale in North America. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to search it. Cause like I guess that's one complaint with the eShop. And it's like I agree. Okay, so yeah, that is correct. That is correct. The AI, the Somnium Files, both games are on sale. The first one is 90% off, making it $3.99, while the second one is 85% off, making it $8.99. Which means like if people are interested in the series and like they saw the third one, but like they haven't played the first two, and they want to try it out, it's the perfect time to get those games. So I'd say, yeah, it's like most of the games didn't really interest me, but It's like Dragon Quest interests me, but it's like I haven't like played through a Dragon Quest game. But it's like Dragon Quest was interesting. No Sleep for Kaname Date, I guess that's how you say his name. The remaster of Raido, which is like a Devil Summoner game, basically in the world of Shin Megami Tensei. Because I was looking at it as like, it's like this remaster of a game, and then I saw Jack Frost. I saw Jack Frost and I was like, okay. It's like Shadow Labyrinth, interesting premise. I saw that I think it was either the Sony's, like one of the Sony State to Play, or like the Game Awards, or like some other event. It's like the thing with like basically Pac-Man, like the thing's named Puck. Which, like, thinking about it now, it makes sense because, like, he was originally... I think it was either originally named or was originally going to be named Puck-Man. So that makes sense. So it's like, let's see... Those first 3 games... Metroid... Witchbrook... Gradius, because it's Gradius, but it's like... It's probably not something I would play. Rift of the Necro Dancer. Like a little bit. But it's like I don't really play rhythm games like that. Other than Rhythm Heaven. So it's like I'm interested in Rhythm Heaven Groove. I'm probably not going to get Pokemon Legends. That's just interesting to see. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of the games on the sizzle reel. But like while I was watching, I was updating my brother through text, so yeah. Like Everybody's Golf, which is I guess like apparently, I guess it was apparently derivative of the Hot Shots Golf series, but then it's like they changed the name back to what like the name originally was, I guess in Japan. So it's like Everybody Golf. So like I guess that's the series name. But then it's like, yeah. It's like, it's not a Hot Shots game, but it darn sure looks like it. I think I've only played the first one on the original PlayStation. It's like, that was one... It's like, that was a game that my dad played. It was like me, my brother, and my dad. Tamagotchi Life is interesting. It was like one of the games that really got my eye was Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Beat 'em up, Marvel based. Bit.emu, well, .emu, 4-player co-op. Yeah, I'm up for that. Definitely. I still have to beat TMNT. I want to play that with the others. Because I like beat 'em ups. Good ones. I was like, there's some that I haven't played through, like basically the Streets of Rage series. And a bunches of them on the NSO Super Nintendo app. So yeah. It's like I thought the virtual game cart thing was interesting. It's like I'll have the Nintendo Today app. I'll see how that goes. Oh man. Oh. Other than that, it's like there's not much else. There's not much else going on. There's not much else going on. It's like it seems like I don't know. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing, like at least on the Mario Kart stuff, whatever. Basically, when Deluxe is here, he like overtakes the conversation. When he's not here, it's so quiet. For the most part. it's like it's a double-edged sword. It's like it's good to have him there. It's good to have him there, but he talks over people and too much. I was like, I don't want to stop him being him, you know? Plus, it's like the Mario Kart streams are basically, it's like, I don't consider them my streams, per se. Like, I'm streaming it or whatnot, but it's not my event. It's like, it's for, like, Ninfora. It's like their weekly game night that we've been doing for, like, over 10 years at this point. They've been doing it for longer, but yeah. Because, like, I started playing with them with Mario Kart Wii, but they've been doing that since DS. So yeah, that's telling. It's like Thursdays are their night. Thursdays are the night is for Ninfora as a whole. So it's our stream, not my stream. Like Smash. Smash is kind of the same thing, but it's like the whole thing with the Smash nights was like really confusing because for some reason they had 2 Smash nights. Because like it was normally like a Smash night on Tuesday. There's a Smash night on Tuesday and a Smash night on Saturday. So then it's like, I'll go on Saturday, like do that or whatever. So it's like I'm joining them on those nights. But to like make it more like my own stream rather than an Ninfora stream. It's like part of it's technically an Ninfora stream, like the Smash stuff or whatnot. But I'd like to make it mine. Is like I decided to like do pre-game sessions before the Smash session. So that's why I've been doing like the hour or 2 hours before the Smash session. It's like it's my stream at that point. It's still my stream going into Smash, but it's like it's a collaborative effort, I guess, on that point. So yeah. So which is why I kind of implemented like an idea I had before I started playing with them for Smash, like years ago. I'll go to this screen now. That idea being the cooldown Saturday streams. Basically, it was like streaming something on Saturday. And I just implement that for the 3rd Saturdays of the month, just to give you an idea of like my stream schedule and whatnot. So Mario Kart, always on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We haven't done anything on Fridays for like a little bit, so that's why I say some Fridays. If we have something planned, we'll do something there. If not, we won't. Then Saturdays. Saturdays are mostly Smash Saturday streams. I do... I had to sneeze there. Oh, I think I hurt my neck. Ooh, okay. Saturdays are usually Smash. I do have like the pre-game sessions. They're like 2 hours. It's like the stream started at 8. From 8 to 10 is the pre-game session. From 10 to a little past midnight are the Smash sessions. So, yeah. On the off chance there's a reason that I don't do the pre-game session on that Saturday, I'll move it to Friday. Oh yeah, the Friday streams, for right now, they currently start after 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because I watch a little thing called SmackDown, and it doesn't end until 11, because they made it 3 hours for some reason, and they drag. Just waiting until June until they go back to 2 hours. But yeah, if I'm unable to play the pregame on Saturday stream. I'll move that up to the Friday Redemption stream. That's basically what it's all about. And then every third Saturday of the month, cooldown Saturday. Just pick a game and play it. So, Mario Kart is simulcasted on Twitch and YouTube. Smash Brothers is simulcasted on Twitch and YouTube. Anything else is not streamed on YouTube. That includes the party game nights, the Friday Redemptions, and the pre-games for the Smash Saturday nights, plus the cooldown Saturday stuff. So that's that. That is the schedule. We have nothing planned for Friday. We have nothing planned for Friday unless somebody like says something, and then it's like if I'm up for it, then maybe. But for now, nothing's planned for Friday. And also, the pre-game session for the Saturday streams, the Smash Saturday streams, is Super Mario Sunshine. I will be going into the third session on Saturday. So that'll be it for the stream. If you enjoyed this at any point, and you think other people will enjoy it, feel free to share either of my channels, Twitch or YouTube. If you enjoyed the stream on YouTube, feel free to leave a like or comment on like maybe your favorite parts or like your thoughts on the direct and stuff like that. Let's see, if you want notifications from when I go live, then on Twitch, feel free to follow me. On YouTube, if you see my video catalog and you like what you see and you want more for like whenever I upload videos, which probably won't be for like a little bit, feel free to either save my page, or if you want to, you can subscribe to it and hit the notification bell for those notifications, you know? I'm on Twitter if you still use that. I only mainly just use it for this, basically. So if you're still on there, feel free to follow me on there. Otherwise, if you're on Blue Sky, I'm on there. I haven't posted anything on there yet. I made it like a while ago, but I'm on there, so if you're on Blue Sky and you want to follow me on there, that's fine. Clips are welcome. On either side, really. What else? I don't think there's anything else. It's like I want to make a poll on here, which is like, if you scroll down on desktop, if you're viewing this on here, or if you're viewing it on mobile and you see the two icons on the top left, or like the one icon, it's like I might make another poll to like see if people would like to like maybe do a game night for like a cross play game that allows a lot of players or something like that. Basically like a bunch of viewers in, like maybe want to play this game and whatnot. Because like I wanted to do something with Super Bomberman R2. Because like that'd be one of the games on there. Like that. If anybody has the Star Wars Battlefront collection, if they happen to have it, like that would be one. Because it'd be easy to set up because like there's not a lot of lobbies. It's like there's a lot of lobbies, but there's nobody in them. So we can just like pick a lobby and just go in there. Simple. It's like I have to think of like some other games mainly. But I think like the main game will be Super Bomberman R, just to see if like there's any. It's like there's an audience for it, you know. Because like if there's enough people, we just do the Battle Royale thing like over and over and over again, you know? This is one of those things. I want to play Bomberman, but there's never anybody to play with, so there's that. I wonder if they have a Discord channel. They probably do. I'd probably have to look it up. Yeah, I'll have to see. But yeah, I think that'll be it for the stream. Do thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna just go ahead and check something real quick. I'll check something real quick because I'm not sure. Because I kind of wanna raid. Let's see. I think, no. I'm not gonna worry about raiding right now. Because I just want to chill after the stream. Like, don't know what I'm gonna do after it. But like, I guess just a little update before I go, whatever. That's for like the YouTube side. I have been editing my Anton Blast playthrough. Because I'm still going through it, it's like it's a lot to actually watch and all that. And to like pace or whatnot. But it's like the videos are gonna be long. They're gonna be long, so I just want to get like that done. I want to at least get that done, and then like something else done before like uploading that and whatnot. So I'm just trying to pace myself to edit these playthroughs because like I do have to watch through these and play them again. But it's just a lot of these playthroughs I don't know how to pace video wise. So yeah, what is Bitty Buggy? Time to Google. Oh. So let me see. Let me see like the unlock parameters for that, I suppose. Yeah. It's weird that it's at the start. Let me see. You'd think the Mario... You'd think the wiki would have that answer. Hold on. Let me find that for you, because... Yeah. It's like, I don't... It's like, I don't use that one. I don't use that vehicle at all. What the heck is... Okay, let's go there. Let's see... I mean, just keep collecting the coins, and like you'll get it eventually. Because if you Yeah, because if you have 500 coins, you have a long way to go to get everything. It's like basically just keep playing. It's like you don't have to go through Grand Prix. I don't believe. You just have to collect coins in general, like finish with them. Yeah, let's do 5 races, getting 10 coins. Finishing with 10 coins each race, you'll get the next part. Yeah, you just have to collect coins. It's just one of the parts you get. That's all I can say, because I don't know if it's like a specific unlock order or if it's random. Because like I basically had this game since it launched. Not the day it launched, the day after it. And I've played it for 735 hours. That's less than like it should be. But I mean, it's there. So like if you play the game a lot, if you play it online, should be simple to like get a bunch of kart parts. Just like have like an hour or 2 hour session on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online. You'll start getting kart parts. Yeah, because I don't think there's a set list online. If there is like Google is your friend. It's like if there's a set list, it's somewhere out there. But if the unlocks are randomized, then I can't tell you how many coins you'd need. If it's a set list, if they're all set at like an amount of a coin amount or whatever, I don't know how many coins you need for it. So that's all I can tell you. Because like I think I have everything except for the gold kart parts. I was like, I have to do time trial for that, and I don't feel like doing that. I want to do time trial in Sonic games. Okay, so before that I was about to end the stream. So yeah. For those that came by, thank you for coming by. I guess thank you for the question, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just saying it's on both sides, so thank you for watching, and until next time, I will be seeing you. Y'all have a good night. Alright, that's pretty much the end of the stream. Thank you for watching, have a good night. Hopefully you can unlock that bitty buggy. Peace.